Pickaxe.
Welcome, cast and crew, to the Nocturne campaign Yap-Up. I am here with the full cast of characters from beginning to end of Nocturne, and we are here to answer all of your scathing listener questions. We have questions from all of us, I think. I don't know, maybe. I have questions for you guys, I'm sure. And we're just here to yap and recap Nocturne and this incredible journey that we went on together. My name is Ryan McManus, and I have been your director for Nocturne. You can find me around the Cast Party socials at CastPartyDND or on my personals at rye.mcmanus. And I'm joined today by my entire cast and crew. May is going to be so happy because first up, we have Vince.
Oh my God, I'm first.
Thank God.
Hey, hi, hello. I am Vince, certified Remus lover and player of Theron. I played Theron and I'm part of Cast Party. You could find me at all my socials at Dr. Stoice. It's like Blastoise without the blah. That's the last time you're going to hear that on here. So thank you everybody for hearing it every time. And I love you all. And then, oh my Remus.
Remus Cam!
Look at that.
Oh my God.
Just small. Hi.
Oh,
He's so
embarrassed. He's shy.
Stop
He's
it.
just tired. He's
Oh.
sleeping.
Next up, we have May.
Oh, now I don't know how to go second. Hi.
You're welcome.
I'm May. I used to go second, I think, and then Vince died and didn't, and then I had to, and
Yes.
yeah, spoilers in the
spoilers.
show Yap-Up, okay?
Tag the spoiler below.
I'm May LeFay on social media, and I played ZL, who somehow lived through all this shit.
Next up, I'm going to go in the OG order. So returning after nearly 40 episodes, we have Christian.
Dear God.
40 episodes later, I'm back in the building. It's me, Christian. Hi, what's up? I played some of the cast members here don't know me, and that's fine. It's just it was earlier seasons. We're coming back. I played Tanis, which was super fun. I played Enzo, which was also super fun. You can check me out pretty much exclusively on Instagram at almost Theo James. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. It's good to be here. They haven't done this in a long time, so I don't know. I don't have anything super witty. I'm sorry, gang.
That's all right. That's all right. And back for his 49th intro, we have Jose.
That's crazy. Hi everybody. I'm Jose here. DM Jose G on all socials and all of that other fun stuff. And still getting there, but soon hopefully on YouTube. Just been working on a backlog of videos. But yeah, I played Alizato, had the awesome privilege of being invited, and then as Ryan said, funny to put it in the way of Christian being gone for 40 episodes, because it's like, oh yeah, guys, like a couple more episodes and we'll be done. A couple more episodes and we'll be done. And then all of a sudden it just stretched
Ryan's
out further and further.
words.
But I couldn't be happier. Yeah, Ryan's favorite words. But I loved it. It was awesome. Thank you guys for having me and welcoming me in. And yeah, it was absolute blast. So yeah.
Our next late arrival, we have Betty.
Hi, I am Betty. Oh, I used to say, hi, 'tis I, Betty the Beholder, which I thought was witty, and I'm going to start to try to do again. I played Dahlia, your constellation of melancholia, and it was just more amazing than I ever could have dreamed. You all are so talented and fantastic, and this was so much fun. And I hope we do it again sometime, guys.
And last but certainly not least, my little pocket DM and very helpful NPC. We got Anna Schmidt.
Pocket DM is hilarious. Hi, I'm Anna, also known as Brizzy Voices on the internet. I played the non-playable character Esmeralda, and schemed with Ryan and also with May.
Oh shit!
What?
That I didn't know.
More on that later.
Spoilers.
And now I hope you all are ready for an entire Nocturne recap poem. I'm totally kidding. I
What?
did not write
Oh
that.
Thank God.
What a tease.
No, I did.
Ryan.
I'm
Didn't
not
prob it.
speaking until
Right,
you
no.
do one.
This is on my list.
I'm
Ryan,
actually
this is on my
fully
list
good
of
with that.
questions for you.
Is
Or
it?
things to say to you today
Oh,
is
shit.
to give you props for the damn poems, because the first time you said you
Oh,
were
yeah.
doing it, I'm like, you're insane. This is
Yeah.
crazy. You can keep this up the whole time. I would dread doing something like that, and it's so impressive.
Thank
and
you.
I do request a mashup of every one edited together, so we do have like a full.
Ooh.
I request a new one.
I request both. So get on it,
How am I
Ryan.
going to tell my children the story of the Sunbringers?
They have to listen from start to end. That's why we're all here. We've
it's
already
true.
done that. We know what happened.
No, it has to be rhyme format.
Funny.
Give him the book.
Do you think you could do a 2-sentence recap
Oh,
right now?
Dude,
Come on,
easy.
improv.
Get out. Ryan, get on the mic. Let's
Wait,
go.
I'll do. What's the
Jose said easy. Brian, show
AABBA
him.
format? What's that one? Is that a limerick? Is that a limerick?
A
ABBA.
haiku?
A-A-B-B.
Oh.
No, that's not-
Yeah.
There once was a man from Peru, that kind.
Yeah.
Mm. Types of poems?
I don't know, bro.
question
You
mark?
tell us.
I'm thankful for all of my friends who played with me in Nocturne to the very end.
Oh.
You all were so great, even if some of you met your fate.
Ouch.
Hold on, I gotta wait.
Yo, he's cooking. He's cooking. Let him
Wait,
cook.
wait,
Let him
wait.
cook.
Yeah, that rhymes. Yeah. Fate
That
and
was
wait.
Betty
Great.
knows it. Betty
That was
knows
great.
it.
I gotta wait. We're gonna leave it
How we
there.
do it again?
And that's it. And we did it. Thank you
Yes!
so much.
Oh
You
my
saw it
god, that's
live.
brilliant, Anna. That's brilliant. There we go.
Guys.
And how about
Wow.
we do it again? That's beautiful.
good.
Yay.
All right. That is funny, Anna. I do remember that was the very first thing you said after my first ever recap poem was like, you're going to do that every single time. And yes, it's one of my favorite ways to do recaps. It not only...
But did you hate it? Did a little bit of you hate it? I would hate it.
No, I don't think I
He's a
hated it.
songwriter, Anna.
Yeah, I guess
A
I'm,
poet.
I'm kind of used to it. I would always write them at the gym, like either the next day or something on the treadmill, and it would like, it made the cardio go by really quick, and it was one of my favorite things to do. And not only that, like thinking of the specific rhymes and stuff, and like it kind of helped me remember what happened more. Even though like I do all of the editing and like I DM'd it, so something about thinking back on the whole session in that deep of a way, I don't kind of embedded it in my brain a little more. So it was fun.
Oh yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I still have kept it up. It is currently going on in the new season as well. So
Oh,
will-
that's so cool.
I will not stop.
Poems go on.
That's so cool.
Now I need you to do it for every episode of Campaign 1 of Cast Party.
Retroactively.
Well, I will I guess I'll toss it over to you guys quick. I don't know if anyone wants to start us off. If we want to just snag a cheeky listener question, I could devastate you with a couple stuff. We could go over anything and everything. We have literally all the time in the world right now.
Devastate me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my heart was at too. Yeah.
Heather the Changeling, now that the campaign is over, how close was Strahd to dropping at the Masquerade? 6 HP raw stat block upgraded him for the finale.
Oh, you did devastate me. Are you fucking kidding me? 6?
Wow, that's pretty
so
crazy.
funny.
6.
It
I
was
love the
purposeful.
six-
6 hit points, but he was also fucking around with us.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
He was purely playing around with each and every one of you, actively standing in the sunlight, pure like walking
Yeah,
in.
Right.
Yeah,
Out
he
of
took the
instinct.
I forgot
damage and
about
said,
that.
I don't care.
And y'all didn't like it's Strahd. If he died, he would have he goes
Right.
into a fog form, goes back to his
Yeah.
tomb, regenerates,
Okay.
and he's back.
Bitch.
Which you
Six
didn't know at the
points.
time.
You did
That's
not know at the
crazy,
time.
Theron.
No.
How many
No.
times can Theron be in a fight and almost win? Crazy.
Until he dies. Actually, quite literally until he dies.
Yeah.
To his death.
Because he did it again after that.
I need a statistic from
Brother is not a
somebody
closer.
who is so in tune with this. Because we didn't have a lot of combats. I need a statistic on each combat and how many of them Vince actually went unconscious or like down in. I'm very curious.
I want to know who took the most damage throughout the whole campaign.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wow.
You
That would
guys
be
are
a great
saying this,
question.
and people
Yeah.
are gonna go do it. We have listeners who are gonna
I
go
know.
and try.
We're giving people homework.
That's
Oh, no.
rough, though.
why we're saying.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, think about it from the standpoint of how often did your character go down?
I think almost every
Throughout the
combat.
I
session.
think the important question we should
Okay.
ask is which character did the most damage.
You.
Easy.
You.
Well, and
Strahd.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, 100%.
Yeah, my guess would be ZL or
That is dope every time.
Dahlia. Or
I mean-
Dahlia.
Mm.
Yeah, Dahlia. Dahlia had
yeah.
a Moomin too, so
Oh, that's true.
it's just me and that werewolf battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That accounted for half of all of your damage that
Yeah.
you dealt the entire campaign.
I did a lot of damage to Strahd at the end. Okay, I forgot I had smite for halfway through the final fight. It's
That
fine.
is so true. Ali Zato made up a lot of ground though in the Baba Lysaga fight with that fucking wall of fire
yeah.
was insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good.
That whole fight was
I
so
was like,
cool.
I got to do something.
Yeah, I was
That was a
drowning
good
during
fight.
that
That was a
one,
fun
so
fight.
I was
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Well, and then
I was trying to kill a
Esmeralda
baby
as well.
and drown, so I didn't do damage during
Yeah,
that.
that was a good
Other
fight.
than the final fight with Strahd, that might have been the most stressful fight I was here for. I'm sure the Isaac fight was more stressful than the Baba Lysaga fight.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
yeah.
it
I don't
wasn't
think
for the
so.
whole party against Isaac.
yeah, right. But that
Oh,
was
the
I
Isaac
get
stressful.
to say
fight.
that it wasn't. You don't get to say that. I get to say it wasn't stressful.
right.
Either you
That's
die
still
or, you know.
such a deep memory for me in this campaign.
What level were you guys when you were fighting Isaac?
Like
You know?
3, I think.
3 or 4.
No,
Like
no.
5,
No.
like
Yeah, we were
5
super
or
low.
like
Yeah,
at
we
least
were-
5, I think.
No, if
No.
anything,
No,
it
lower
was
than that.
you guys leveled up to 3 after the Madame Ava reading. So
Yeah.
you might have been 4.
I was going to say, I
Hmm.
know that I wasn't high enough to have anything useful.
Same.
Yeah.
So wasn't super high.
And I just like stepped back. She was like, "That's crazy."
Yeah.
I think
He's
I
CR5.
I mean, Ryan did also kind of set it up in a way that was like, okay, hey, if you're gonna go up against Isaac,
This
like
is the time.
this is kind of a
'cause it's
time, but
dude
like
just ran up
you
and,
could also like do something else.
Sure, but this dude ran up and just like absolutely
100%.
joinked Isaac.
100%.
And I was like, I mean, I'm standing right here. What am I? What is Tanit supposed to do? Be like, I'll
Yeah.
see you later, bro. I gotta
Yeah.
go, do infrastructure stuff. What? No.
That was
I'm
specifically
playing a bounty hunter. He's going for the kill. He has to. Theoretically.
that was meant to be a very split decision. He was swarmed by vampires, but the first thing I had him do was fucking chop
Obliterate.
one right in 2, obliterated in 1 hit. He was, which he kind of was at the start of that, he was an option for you all to recruit during the feast. And you guys flipped the switch entirely.
What?
So
That's crazy.
No.
He was romanceable.
The biggest thing is that everyone was romanceable.
New game plus. Easy.
Everyone was romanceable.
if you guys made it through the feast and you helped Isaac survive, that could have been like a fully different end to
Oh my
Vallaki.
god! Wait, that literally would have helped so much to
No.
have on our side.
Anna,
No
Anna just pulled up the
way.
stat block. He's a beefy fucking boy.
Oh, I remember.
Yeesh.
I mean,
God
to be honest
damn.
with you, I feel like looking back at it, it was the T-Bros, and neither one of them has historically made any good decisions. So I don't know what we
That's smart
expected.
man right there. Speaking truth.
You know? I mean, we're talking about basically Full Metal Alchemist is what we're talking about. That's
Oh, yeah,
Such a
brother.
good show.
Nice.
you know, they just didn't have the plot armor. So what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. The feast was spooky, and I I told you guys from the very beginning that this is a dangerous campaign and everything has consequences. And I think compared to
We gotta
like
come back around to the consequences.
yeah, compared to our main campaigns, this is the most deadly thing we've ever had.
Yeah.
So
We haven't had any character
So
deaths
far.
in any of the campaigns,
far.
correct?
no,
Oh my
we've had a lot
gosh.
of we've had a lot of unconscious and a lot of close calls, but no
Yeah,
actual
really close calls.
death. And yeah, I love the consequences. I do have a note very early on. If we kind of want to start from the beginning before we jump into other questions or comments or
A
anything,
very good place to start.
because it is something that I have had to keep tight the entire campaign. Everyone here knows about this. I think maybe except for Jose and Betty, the background of this, but Tanis's
Betty's like, what the fuck?
Tanis's windmill. Tanis, when you went to collect your rent, you met a woman inside the windmill who is Mima's daughter, quote unquote. Remember Mima at the start? She had her pies. She gave them out to you and Alizato. She handed them out to you after
They're
the
in the
death
pies,
house
yeah.
at the very start. She's the leader of a night hag coven. And the woman that you spoke to was one of her night hags. Those pies are made within the windmill. At the very tippy top, these night hags grind up children and put them inside the pies to induce
loved those pies.
to induce fantastical dreams, and Barovians get addicted to these pies because it's their only source of color and happiness that they can enjoy in a land filled of dread.
Who ate them?
Hard cut to Tanis and Alizato just plowing down these plates.
And all you wanted was rent. You never went inside.
Oh my god!
Wow,
I
dude,
remember
you're a terrible
Alizato
person.
craving that pie later, and we're all like, "That's
yeah.
kind of weird."
Yeah.
But like Alizato was a new enough character that I was like, "Is that an
Yeah.
Alizato thing? Maybe he just really likes
No.
pie or sweets or."
To my backstory.
Straight
I
up
didn't
drug
know.
addict now.
I didn't know it was like a hag thing. I fucking hate hags.
That's
It's
insane.
a full-on addiction thing that they have within the book. This
Oh
is
my
this rules is
God.
written. This is module shit. This is
there's
not me.
Still night hag there,
Yes.
right
And
outside
living
the
children,
city with
yes.
an orphanage.
Yes.
Killing babies.
Yes. So that was I have run that in our home game of Curse of Strahd, and it's always like a full shocker. And
I
the
have to go
fact that it
back.
was like skipped over was so, I don't want to say funny because that sounds so mean, but knowing what was inside and knowing that only Tanis walked up to that door and everyone purposefully stayed back.
We said
I
the
have
tr-
held
the-
on to
the-
this from the start.
Ah,
We said the
Oh
truest evil as a
my
landlord.
We did, and you were right.
Christian is completely speechless right now. I hope y'all know.
What am I supposed to say? I hate kids. I didn't need to.
I hate kids. Oh my god.
I
I
can't
didn't mean
believe
to.
I
didn't
knew
know.
that Ryan had told us the hag part. I didn't know that you guys ate kids.
Oh, I
That's
thought
so
I
funny.
And it was delicious.
I thought you knew
It
about the
was
windmill.
Oh my god.
No, I was wondering how that was going to
Delicious.
come up because I think you only said that. Wait, no, you didn't bring up much about the hags.
No, you guys didn't even know they were hags.
I didn't know. No,
I didn't.
of course
I didn't know
not.
till
I mean,
after the fact. Like someone mentioned a hag, but I did not know about the children.
Yeah.
By should
I had only known because of our home campaign
Mhm,
because
mhm.
at the beginning I had known a tiny bit. We had played up to that point and then I stopped,
Yeah.
so I didn't know anything after.
We
getting
never made
the
it to
windmill.
Velaki. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like our last
Crazy.
session was the hag fight. And
Yeah.
it's even that
And then finding out about the drug, like the addiction to the.
Yeah. The hag fight is very, very dangerous. So it's probably
at that
a
level
good
fighting
Yeah.
a night hag or multiple.
A coven.
it would
yeah.
have been
Yeah.
It would have been just the
Wow.
one at the start. I did have, if you guys went in, I had Mima slated to come in at a certain time. But it would have only been the one for the start. but
Yeah.
it's
Look at
still
how
it's
we did
the
against
most-
Baba La Saga. Like, it levels higher than that.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I think it's the biggest TPK spot.
That's
Really?
crazy.
Really?
Outside of Death House,
that makes
absolutely.
sense. It's like right at the sweet spot where you're like, I have enough abilities to do something, and then you
You're
get
feeling
absolutely
confident,
wrecked.
and then
You get wrecked.
Which we learned shortly thereafter at the feast.
there's one other thing. There's one other thing that people were asking about that like wasn't revealed that I do just want to tell you guys about. Speaking of like possible
I don't want
TPKs.
to talk about it.
No, this was from
The Amber Temple.
No.
Oh.
No.
Never mind.
This is from Sunstorm Solo. This applies to Alizato, Esmeralda, and Dahlia. Could you please explain the riddle room that the group found during the masquerade?
Yes.
What did each of the riddles mean? This was the brazier room, deep down in the dungeons. I'm just going to read you the overview for a little reminder. This room is 30 feet square, rising to a 20-foot tall flat ceiling. A stone brazier burns fiercely in the center of the room, but its tall white flame produces no heat. The rim of the brazier is carved with 7 cup-shaped indentations, spaced evenly around the circumference. Within each indentation is a spherical stone, twice the diameter of a human eyeball and made of a colored crystal. No 2 stones of the same color. Overhead is the hourglass with the sand stuck in the top and a script around the bottom. And there were also 2 9-foot tall iron statues on horseback, poised with swords drawn facing inward. The hourglass read, "Cast a stone into the fire, violet leads to the mountain spire. Orange to the castle's peak, red if lore is what you seek, green to where the coffins hide, indigo to the master's bride, blue to ancient magic's womb, yellow to the master's tomb." So if you took any of those stones and cast it into the fire would turn that color, and then if you were to touch the fire, you would be instantly teleported to a possible location all throughout Barovia. This includes within the castle. Or the top of a fucking mountain.
Amazing.
The violet leads to the mountain spire is the Solenka Pass, which is a huge mountain range. You would have probably froze to death.
Nah, you don't know
Yeah,
me,
sure.
bro. You don't know me.
Alizato would have been fine.
Ollie would have been fine.
Yeah, I'm different.
mammoth.
Someone did point this out. Orange to the castle's peak. This is the North Tower Peak. Valen pointed it out in the Discord.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
This is indeed the location of the heart.
Ah,
Red if lore is what you seek, Strahd's study. Green to where the coffins hide, the coffin maker shop in Vallaki. Indigo to the master's bride, Abbey of St. Markovia, all the way on the opposite end of Barovia in Kresk. Blue to ancient magic's tomb, the Amber Temple. Yellow to the master's tomb, Strahd's tomb, directly.
Didn't we get there? And then we were trying to figure out, and didn't we say like, oh, we could all come back here and then we can teleport somewhere else? And then I think Esmeralda was like, yeah, but we don't know exactly where we might turn up or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
She did say,
Or like in an emergency, we could try the one
Yeah.
for lore because maybe that's a library.
Oh,
you
that's
did
right.
lead to Red, but then that is where you guys went through the side tunnel and got caught by Rahadin.
Oh, that's right.
Through the secret door.
mm-hmm.
It'd be
And he
so
was Raha done.
crazy if we'd ended up either in the Amber Temple or
Yup.
the Abbey of St. Markovia.
Yup. This would
Because
have.
that's a whole other. You don't even have that prepped. Like,
No,
what do you-
no. I would have.
And how would we possibly know where to find you? Like,
No,
how would we
exactly.
possibly have ever gotten back to
Truly.
you guys?
Oh god.
If that would have
Oh my
happened,
God.
I probably would have. This dead ass would have turned
Cut
into full cut of that episode. We finished the masquerade with the other 3. The other 3 are off in fucking Kresk. Probably have guests come on to fill out the Kresk party, and then
Meeting
see.
a zombie bride and a
See-
crazy fucking priest.
Yeah, Kresk is one of the places that I do wish. There were a lot of people asking, so I apologize. I don't have.
Frankenstein us.
Yeah, I don't have names specifically written down because a lot of people did ask this question. It was like, what do you miss, or what were you sad you didn't get to? Kresk sounds so fun, and I am kind of bummed that was the one location that we didn't just have time to go to. So, before I jump into some more questions, does anyone have any questions for characters / story stuff before I want to toss it over to you guys for a sec. If anyone's got anything.
I have a question. I want to know what everyone's most challenging moment of the campaign was, whether it be like a combat that was really hard, a really difficult character choice, a conflict between character and player, like just what like the most challenging like part of the game was for you guys.
Oh,
If anybody has one that sticks out.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I will jump in first just to get mine out of the way because mine's pretty easy, and it's prepping for you all because I have never been more baffled by a group of individuals before. Which is, I'm so
awesome.
thankful. Someone else asked, and again, I'm so sorry I didn't write this question down either. It was, did you find it easier to prep because it was a module? I think it was Josh Sellers. I had a couple questions from him down. But yeah, someone asked if it was easier to prep because it was a module. Yes, because I could have the module stuff and then add in the extra stuff that I think you guys are going to fuck around with. So I kind of had like a base layer. But now, please, go ahead.
I'll say quickly, coming into a already established party is always a situation that's like, oh man, and like Ryan was like, yeah, you're gonna play, but then I was kind of like, yeah, but is it like for like a little bit? And then I just kind of like come in, tell you guys what's up, and then leave, which is totally fine. That was definitely challenging. And then in a way that I didn't anticipate, having both Christian and Vince leave was also very challenging because it like completely kind of shifted the dynamic in a different way, at least. Because I think like Theron and Tannis, and well, even Enzo later on, but like more so Theron and Tannis, they had such a like interesting like relationship already that I think Alizato was kind of this like, oh, like let me jump in there, but this is clearly like a 2-person thing, so I'm just gonna hang back here. But oh wow, Ziel's pretty much in charge of this. Oh, so you guys are the crazy ones. Okay, so I guess I'm just kind of in between. But then when you guys left, it was like, oh shit, like okay, well now I have to kind of like pivot in another way where like I feel like emotionally Alizato kind of then like was like more so out of similarities and like story and stuff, like gravitated to Dahlia, but then Alizato then felt very much like it's really just Ziel alone. So then that was a whole nother thing where then he has to approach Ziel from that standpoint of like it, you know, like, yeah, like I'm here and Dahlia's here, but like you came with completely other people that's none of us. And then when Esmeralda came in, it was like, oh, well, she's the one who's calling the shots here, so we gotta follow her or we're gonna fucking die when Ziel's not here. So that was really funny too. It was a great little back and forth. So I think that was very difficult, but definitely very rewarding. So very fun.
I think it was hard sometimes to play a character who, as a character, wants to call the shots and like lead a dungeon crawl in the castle, but for me to know where everything is and all the secret doors, so I'm like, no, I have to like take a back seat and like make sure Ali and Dahlia are like the ones choosing the directions and like instigating the investigations and stuff, and just trying to find that balance.
And you killed it. I was so proud of you for like literally 0 metagame throughout the whole campaign, even though I know you were chomping at the bit to get behind that fireplace, Anna.
I do. There's such crazy stuff behind it.
There's a hidden, when you guys were up in the study, after you talked to the little accountant guy whose name I can't remember, who was chained to the floor at the masquerade, the study behind the fireplace, there is a hidden door that you could basically extinguish the fire and crawl back through into the fireplace. And there's like a whole little hallway.
Oh, wow.
It is some weird shit back there. Giant
Is that where
spiders.
the like fortress thing
Giant
is?
spiders and the inside fortress. Yeah.
The inside
There's some
fortress?
crazy loot, like insane loot if you can get to it.
Yeah.
Wow. And we said, all right, let's just go
I'm
somewhere
gonna see if I
else.
can find that loot while you guys yap more about your challenges.
I'm going to apologize ahead of time because I feel like a lot of my future answers are going to be saying Yeah, this with May, like a lot of it's going to include May's character because so much at a certain point within the campaign, it just comes up to everything kind of revolved around what Theron wanted to do with ZL. And I think that was one of the hardest things for me was I've never, out of all the years I've played, short years I've played, I've never had like a relationship within the game. So balancing that relationship on top of my plans that I had, and then that slowly changing as it continued on, that it's so hard to explain how much was going on in my head, how I wanted to do certain things, but then still play coy and all that. It was really hard playing with that relationship. And it definitely taught me a lot. I feel like this campaign did.
Honorable mention, the Cade little fight.
That was my answer.
But I will say, playing alongside Betty is always fucking awesome. So I was like, oh, we got this. This is great. But I was freaking out. I was messaging Ryan like, so am I doing this? And is it okay if I do that? Like, should I do this? I don't know, dude. It's your fucking guy that clearly has a lot to do here. I don't want to say anything wrong.
It's your fucking guy.
No, you guys killed it. And I believe it was Shu, if I'm remembering correctly. One of her questions was Jose and Betty, Cade and Suni rematch when? So you guys truly killed it. It was that was so much fun. And thank you for indulging me, Jose and Cade, for a character that I just kind of created. And then Betty, your portrayal of Suni was banger.
Thank you.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
Before we get to the next person on their challenge, I do have the loot. Basically, if you get to the end, you get to a treasury that is in Darren's Instant Fortress, which is a wondrous item. It is basically a small fortress inside of the castle. Inside, 50,000 copper, 10,000 silver, 10,000 gold, 1,000 platinum, 15 assorted gems at 100 gold each, a +2 shield. This shield whispers warning to its barrier, also giving a +2 bonus to initiative. The upper floor of the tower contains 10 pieces of jewelry, 250 gold pieces each, an alchemy jug, a helm of brilliance, a rod of the Pact Keeper, +1, and an unlocked wooden coffer with 4 compartments, each one containing a potion of greater healing.
Whoa. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
It's wild,
How to
dude.
beat Strahd.
Damn, Anna must have
really.
been pissed.
Oh my god.
She was like, don't look behind the fucking portrait, go through the fire.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Brutal. That's brutal
right.
to know.
Throw it back to y'all.
Nose goes.
Yeah.
That's it. That's you. Yeah, nose goes.
Okay. First of all, disclaimer, I'm gonna try and do my best, but unfortunately I could write an entire dissertation on ZL and how much she means to me, and playing this game with y'all means to me. So my answer to almost everything is probably gonna be a lot of things or a lot of times. Also just having played across the whole campaign. There is a couple that were really challenging. Tannis's death was a big one, or like recovering from that, or figuring out what to do after that, because like Tannis and ZL's relationship was like the most pre-established one, especially after we didn't have Osria, so that was like the one, like they shared backstory together and history together, and of course, like nothing is planned out. We don't know what's gonna happen, but you know, same as with real life, you're like, your character's like, maybe this will happen and this will happen, whatever, and then it was like dealing with a death. It's like I did not know what to do, and I fortunately don't have much experience dealing with that in real life, so I was truly like, oh my god, what the fuck do we do now? So that was tough. The Suni and Cade and Theron and ZL fight was really tough. I initially, going into that fight, like I had kind of like the session before, I really thought, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna fight. Why would I fight? Like, why would if if Theron needs to kill me to live, then like, okay, he could just kill me to live because like I'm fucking done. And then it kind of ended up being a thing where we're like, okay, like almost being like compelled to fight, but like, I don't know, it just like made more sense for the story. And like, it wasn't a thing that she wanted to do, but did it anyways, but just like having to figure out how to do that and move forward. Really with ZL, it was all about making choices and feeling constantly like I was making the wrong choice because bad things kept happening and I just had to continue on anyways, which is crazy because that's kind of how life is, isn't it? But all you can do is apologize and try your best, I guess. And that was a struggle. I had moments where I contemplated going evil, or like in the Theron battle, like I was like, I'll just kill me. I've done some fucked up shit. Just kill me. Like, and to still play. I love ZL and I don't want her to die, but also it's just a weird thing to reckon with. But it was fun too.
And last but certainly not least.
Man, I've been thinking about it the whole time while everybody's been giving really cool answers, and I've been trying to figure out what the most difficult part was for me. I guess there are two answers, I think. One, I think, is a little bit more mechanical. I love playing martial characters. That makes sense to me. Just at falling into the RP of somebody whose decision making comes from a place of physical decision making, if that makes sense. Like their decisions come from the idea that they're physically able to back up whatever it is that they're saying. So when I made Tanis being a blood hunter, and especially being dexterity based, like very rogue sort of adjacent, was really difficult for me because I suddenly had to play a character who was not able to like kick the door down. He wasn't the strongest and he wasn't going to be able to punch the hardest. He had a very different approach. And I felt like that challenge added a lot to his character, which was really cool, but mechanically it was tough for me. And I do think somewhat you can see the downsides of that challenge when it comes to something like the Isaac fight, where Christian Carlson's brain is like, we'll just hit him in the face. And then it's like, but you're not, playing a fighter. So it's going to go a little differently. So I really enjoyed that challenge. I think it added to the elements of Tanis that I really liked, and but whatever. That was cool. That was a cool challenge. It was really tough for me. And then secondly, I think I a little bit feeling somewhat like towards what Jose was saying about like coming into the party at a different point. But coming in with Enzo was a really interesting challenge because Christian had already been here and then died, and I was coming back and was like, don't worry, I'm someone else, I'm someone new. Which was tough. It was tough to play that character, and I think ultimately one of the things that like sort of it's hard because the whole time I'm playing, like there's a second part of my brain that's like, this is what Tanis would do. What Tanis would do right here, and I was like, well, just shut up. It's not his Enzo. That was a tough challenge, but it was also fun. I felt like getting to jump in, kind of like what Jose was saying about like finding that dynamic of like, okay, well, so where does this character fit into sort of the very pre-established like party dynamic? So you've got like these characters who are like, here's our inside joke, and then you're like, okay, so my character's like, I'm gonna just, sounds fun. Was a really cool and interesting challenge. I think those two were the toughest for me. RP wise, dying was tough. But I think harder than that was trying not to play a fighter. At the end of the day, that was my biggest challenge.
Fair. Betty, did you give an answer? I'm so sorry.
The Suni Kate fight.
Yes.
It was so much fun. It was great. I thought it was really fun. But I was really challenged mechanically with her because Kate was stacked.
Yeah.
And Sune was also stacked in a different mechanical way. And so it was like two different mechanical, I don't want to say archetypes, but like two different veins of the same mechanics going head to head. And Jose's amazing at what he does. And so I was like, he's going to kick my ass. But he did it. And I thought that was the role play was really fun of that. But mechanically, that was a really fun challenge for me.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I just love that jump cut, like he's gonna kick my ass jump cut to Jose texting, he's your fucking guy. What does he do?
Yeah. Dude, the whole time.
I love that dichotomy.
And me and
in my
Betty
head.
messaged
Yeah, we
before,
did.
but 100%. It was like, wait, hold up. Can I say this? Is this okay? Am I killing Suni? How far are we taking this? Yeah, that was
Raise
cool.
the knife?
But I will say, apart from all of that, I in my D&D games, I'm a big fan of sometimes when like you have two completely but very similar events happening at the exact same time. And honestly, like that is one of the highlights of this campaign. The gods fighting while their champions are fighting was so
It's a good
like
trope.
it was just so perfectly epic. Yeah, it was so cool. It was so cool. Yeah, so major.
That was one of
props
my
for it.
favorite themes, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it, but the mirroring of that fight was like I can't script something this good. But the way that it worked out was just like everything about it was incredible. That was one of my favorite episodes because I didn't have to do shit except to reply to some DMs from you guys. I just let you guys have at it. And I was just playing ref. It was great. But speaking of a shit ton of damage, Betty, I have something for you, which you posted in our
Yes.
Yap-Up questions chat. It was from Heather the Changeling. It was, how much damage was Mordenkainen's last explosion worth, given it shook the whole castle? And I'm going to let you roll this damage right here, right now.
What?
Ryan!
All ones. We gotta go back.
He did
You are-
10 damage.
You are
Yeah.
going to have to do this digitally. I will tell you that.
I will. Let me pull up D&D Beyond.
So Mordenkainen is canonically in Curse of Strahd. Basically, how his story works in Curse of Strahd is he came to defeat Strahd. He fell, just like in Dahlia's dream when they were walking up for the wedding. On that bridge, that's exactly what happened. They were fighting in the air. Strahd got the upper hand, took out Mordenkainen unconscious, and Mordenkainen fell to the valley below. Mordenkainen
Whoa.
then just completely loses his memories, and he becomes known as the Mad Mage of Mount Baratak. And that is someone that you can run into or fight or ally with through the campaign. And his stat block is an Archmage. And they have access to 9th level spells. So my thought was, of course it's going to be a fucking Meteor Swarm because I love Meteor Swarm. And that's just cool as hell.
Yeah.
My only thought process was like, he's weak. So it would only be one. So that's why he didn't just pummel the entire castle. So he placed it on one specific target, which was where Cade gave him the location to. Cade provided Mordenkainen with his memories and his sanity for one final moment to help out in that last little bit because of Dahlia's pleading. And that is what you guys gained, was the destruction of the coffin of Strahd's tomb. So it was done right there and then during the fight. So Betty, I need 20 D6 fire and then 20 D6 bludgeoning.
Oh
Holy
my
God.
God.
Mom Mans did a lot for
That's
us during that last
crazy.
fight.
He did.
40
Yeah.
D6 of damage?
Oh my God. All right.
Just
Here's
for the
first one.
listeners
Here's
there.
The fire. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. I'm going to take a picture. 69!
Nice.
Nice. Classic
I
morning.
made it. That's good. All right, here's the other one.
Wow.
So 69 fire. Ba-ba-la-la-ba. No, I don't know if that's quite as good. 71! It's better!
Hey, okay. Damn.
Oh,
Okay.
hell yes.
140 damage
Oh
total.
my God.
That's pretty
Holy
goddamn
shit.
good.
Oh my
That's
God.
gnarly, bro.
Okay. Okay, Morty.
Okay, Morty.
Okay, Morty.
Okay, Morty. We see you.
Morty.
We see you.
I
Go off,
really was
Morty.
racking my brain that whole. I'm like, how are we supposed to do all of these things? So when you were like, by the way, that was the coffin being destroyed, I was like, thank God. Like, I
got
had
it.
no idea how we were gonna do that.
We got him.
Like,
And
Got
it's
him.
all because of your guys'
man.
actions. So that's all I have to say is everything works out.
Wow.
Thank you for letting me roll that, Ryan. That was very fun. I very much enjoyed
Absolutely.
that.
I didn't roll it in time. I was just like, I know this coffin's dying. I don't care.
Yeah.
I didn't add a number to it.
Oh, that's epic.
Let's see. We'll do another listener question, and then we'll jump back in. Oh, there's two that I have for Vince, which I really, really like. They're from two separate people, so bear with me. It's one and then a follow-up, which I think is really cool. The first one is from Bowie. Vince, we know Theron lived and died in a cycle of violence. Do you see Baron following in his brother's unfinished footsteps and seeking the man in the top hat for what he did to their family? Do you think Baron believes he owes that to Theron for his sacrifice, or would he take this new life as a gift and live it far more peacefully?
Ooh,
Diabolical.
What a good.
Oh, I'm so
good
sorry.
question.
This follow-up question is from Bowie, so it's perfect. They just put it in a different message.
Oh, okay.
So we'll go to that after.
So definitely he would go after the man in the top hat because it's the one that caused all of this. He would. It's in his blood. He's more innocent than Theron. Theron was almost through his life experiences, he was forced to be more brutal, I guess you could say. More of a dick. And Baron's a lot more innocent, but it's in his blood to get that revenge too and to right what was wrong. So he would definitely go after him. And that would be basically his life goal now, is to do that and to try to find his brother if there's any way that he could. If he even knows that he can or not.
Baron Oath of Vengeance Paladin? Question
There you
mark?
Campaign win.
What?
Spin-off?
And I missed a part of the question too, didn't I?
Don't do it, Baron. Don't be a paladin.
I don't know. No, I think you got most of it.
Vince said he would not have peace. This boy would not
No.
have any peace.
I'm sorry, but no, there's none.
Mm-hmm.
You say that, but I'm going to track him down, so maybe he would.
That is true. That was CL's
You
final
can
moment.
Help him.
Me and Kate are gonna adopt Baron.
Oh my god.
I have words for you about that too.
I
but
bet you do, but you can't tell me, can you? Can you?
What a sitcom
Get
setup.
that boy
I love this.
therapy.
I have one follow-up, and this one is heartbreaking. Bowie asks, roles now reversed, Vince. What kind of weapon would Theron manifest as for Baron, or would he be something more like his shield?
I did see this one, and that one gave me goosebumps because at first, like you like reading it, I'm like, oh yeah,
So
weapon.
good.
Like we're gonna come with something like real good, like maybe even like a ranged weapon or something like that. But then I saw shield, and I was like, ah shit, man, what you gotta do that to me? Come on, now. That's too fucking good. Like
It makes so much sense.
Oh, it's so hard.
That's insane.
Because all that Theron, like it's so thematic too, because all that Theron wants to do is protect his family and protect the ones that he truly loves. And he did that all the way until the end. So I feel like it would have to be some sort of shield.
Did you just say you protected the ones you loved until the end?
Yeah, I didn't kill you, did I?
You did! I hellish rebuked you! I was already dead!
I have things I could say that I'm not gonna say.
So do I. I guess now's the time to say that, isn't it? That's why we're here.
I could have maybe still won the fight, but that's besides the point.
Well, I was holding back because I was waiting till you killed me to hellish rebuke you so we could die at the same time, so.
You were not gonna do a death pact.
That would have
I was
thrown a
literally-
fucking wrench, dude.
I literally was
God.
waiting.
You were not gonna do death pact.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That would have changed
Yeah.
fucking everything. We would have
Yeah.
only had 2 people, like actual players.
I had multiple plans.
Yeah.
There was a warlock
Jose.
spell that I had where I like gave my last hit points to you. I had hellish rebuke ready. I had all this stuff ready so that we would die at the same time. And I purposefully didn't do shit in the fight
my
because I was like,
God.
and this is in character because Ziel's like, well, one, she was ready to die, right? Like I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
But two, I'm like, what if, like, what I was trying to Hunger Games it is what I was trying to do. Is I'm like, if we both die, then what are they gonna do? They're gonna bring back some other random soul? No, they're gonna have to like give us back or something. Like I was trying to find some way out of it, is what I was doing. So I was specifically trying to stay alive and like until we could die at the same time. It was my only goal.
No.
While you were trying to kill me.
I had to.
Yeah, dude.
I
Okay,
don't-
whatever.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how that would have affected this. If both of you went and we had no full remaining
you-
like OG party members, that would have been
Insane. Yeah, just a different group of people that's like, hey, we're
That's
still kind of going
crazy.
after Strahd, right? We just
Ship of Theseus ass group.
Dude, See, I'll be doing some crazy shit by the end, and can you blame
Oh
her?
my
Can you
God.
blame her?
No.
just love the idea of like after that, like the group is like, hey guys, do we still want to do that? We don't have to, right? You want to just call it?
Listen.
This feels bad. This feels like it's not
After
going
the
well.
feast, after Tannis is dead, hundreds of people are dead because of technically a choice that I made. I'm like, Ziel would do whatever the fuck, like whatever the fuck makes sense in that
The
second.
feast
She's
is
gonna
tough.
do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And so,
all right.
what? Go on.
Go on.
No,
Go
you.
on.
No, you. No, you.
no you.
It's a question first for you, but for everybody. With all of that said, are you happy with how the story of your character
Oh.
ended?
Wait, yes, that actually.
That's a crazy question to ask me right now.
I'm gonna piggyback off that because this also this is also a question from Danny, not Donnie. How did your character's endpoint turn out compared to where you expected them? So I'm gonna add that onto the end of your question, Vince. Is are you happy with your end? And based off Danny, how did your character's endpoint turn out compared to what you thought your character, how your character story would end from the start of the campaign?
With your emotions right now, May, I want to hear from you first, but this was open for everybody. But you're first.
Oh my god. How did I think this was gonna end? I thought I was gonna end up with like, you know, a nice little romance, like some new friendships, and that I was gonna go back to the church of love and beauty and just have a good time. That's what I thought. What?
Wow.
What, Ryan?
From Frosted Gears, how does the elf feel about coming full circle to be back in the same place as the start of her backstory, being stuck in an engagement to a man that she didn't want to marry?
I haven't even answered this first question.
But it goes with what you're saying.
Holy God, Jesus
Why am I
Christ!
being attacked?
Leave us alone,
Again.
Chad.
You really are right now. I'm sorry.
Let Ziel rest, please.
Whatever.
Literally, the campaign's over, and this woman can't. She can't rest.
alone.
Okay. So Ziel's ending. I almost said this for Betty's question earlier, that one of the hardest things to decide on was literally once we finished our battle against Strahd, and me and Ryan are like, so what do we like? How do we, what does Ziel do? Like, what is her
Yeah.
epilogue? And like that was genuinely that tortured me every single second until we played
Really?
it out, because I was like, oh my god, Ziel is obviously so important to me, and she did survive it somehow, and I'm like, how do we, like, of course she just, I want her to have a happy ending, my sweet little baby, but I'm a D&D player, I'm an author just like all of you, like I had to give her justice over happiness, which is the most paladin and Libra thing I could have said ever. But and
I will add on. I gave
don't give
you
me another question.
No. I just to reiterate, Ziel's choices was, I gave you the option. I wanted everyone to have the ending that they felt their character deserved. you and I talked about this for days leading up to the like actual
I was
finale.
like on like a theoretical level. I'm like, what does she deserve for her crimes?
And ultimately, you were like, I literally remember the text. You just saying, I don't think ZL gets a happy ending. Like she's gone through so much that like, yeah, it sucks. Things could be kind of okay, but nothing can ever be normal again.
No, which is extra fucked up because she's probably gonna live forever. So, yeah, I didn't think she could have a happy ending. Like that didn't do justice to what she'd been through, and it didn't do justice to her friends. It didn't do justice to Theron and Tannis and like everything that they lost.
Yeah.
To just be like, cool, I'm over that.
A Freerin series, but it's just ZL.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that's where it starts.
No
is
way, except that
post-Nocturne,
ZL
yeah.
does not have any of the chill that Freerin does, but yeah. But
The other side of the coin.
basically we talked about like, because like, I don't know, like we talked about the possible of like some sort of like compromise on her deal with Cade. Like, you know, like he did do so much to help us out the end, and everything he did past the point of the Theron battle. And even with the Theron battle, I know Vince is gonna fucking hate this, but like it was fully explained that like Cade isn't like, haha, you gotta die or you gotta kill someone. It was like literally you have to trade a soul for a soul. Like that makes sense, right? At least in
The law of equivalent exchange.
like he was doing all these good things or whatever, and so we're like, well, maybe he would. Like now that he got freed, that's what he wanted, right? Like that's why he was using jail or whatever, was to get freed, and he got that. So maybe there's like some sort of different arrangement, but that also didn't feel right. Like I don't, even if it was offered to her straight up, I don't know that ZL would take that. Like, you know, like I know it does feel cyclical, like she's back in the same place she started, but I don't think she is. You
Not at
know,
all.
like she is going through the same situation, but it's
I think that's what's crazy about a spiral is it's like you're in a different place, but you're doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
but she's doing something different now. Like she does have a choice. Like Cade makes it clear that she's gonna have as much choice on whatever she wants, and like she did choose, regardless of it being a forced situation, she did choose between marrying Cade and another option with someone else. So like she did still choose this more so than she did her initial like arranged marriage or whatever. So and he was also the one who got her out of that wedding. So I don't know, it's like that was part of the thing where like there is some hope. I don't know. Cade is the god of grief, I'm sure, and you know every story. I know we all love the Hades and Persephone and the Orpheus and Eurydice. I know we love all these little stories and they're so romanticized, and I will do that until the day I die. But they're fucked up, and every single god makes these fucked up decisions, and it's not like perfect, whatever. Like they're just like us, right? So I'm sure it's not all sunshine and roses, but I wanted there to be like this opportunity for her to, I don't know, to like. Basically what Ryan was saying, being not be like absolutely fucking destroyed. Like there is still learning, there is still coming out the other side of trauma, and
You want her to
evolving.
have more hope.
So I'm like, am I the only one that's like, weird? So you said a dissertation was coming, is what you said, right? That there's more to the. Okay, just when? That's all I'm asking for. Is just the drop.
Well, you know, the
Pre-order
dissertation
that.
is actually when it gets into ZL's psychology and my psychology and how my life parallels ZL's and the things that were happening in my life while I was playing ZL and what that means about me psychologically.
Okay,
we can't release that on the
Yeah.
internet.
We can't.
No, that's fair. As a member of the party, just let me know. I'll ask off work. I'd love to read that. That's insane. That's
I'll
so
send you the link.
please.
One thing that when this was all the way back in like session zeros, or even before that, like our character one-on-ones, was all May told me was ZL's lack of choice is what ultimately drove her. And I made sure to hit that every fucking beat of the campaign.
Oh my god, it was horrible. It was a Libra's nightmare, the choices I had to make.
But ultimately, I wanted you at the very end to have that choice. Like, this is fully your decision. And that was just Like that was from my perspective, like as my DM, that was like my little happy ending for you, even though it wasn't. But it was like, here's one final choice that is entirely up to you. That was there's no outside sources swaying it in one direction. Here you are.
There were so many forces swaying it right. So many forces.
I want to ask Betty about her end, especially because I also have a follow-up now that we're still on that question.
Betty's end was so sad.
It was so sad. I knew Dahlia was going to die the whole time. I knew she wasn't coming back. Ryan and I talked about it a lot. And my partner, Caleb, at Caleb the Bard, was like, he was like,
Quick
I was
plug.
telling you about this character. And he's like, this is like really sad. Like, are you sure you're okay to do, like, this is very tragic. Like, it's doomed, right? And I wasn't sure, to be honest. I was like really tempted to maybe be like, well, maybe she could like, and then there was nothing there. Yeah, like what am I gonna
Everybody
do?
does, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I always knew it was coming, and Ryan did it in such a beautiful way that I really liked her ending, and I thought it was really, in the same way a couple people have said this of like joining halfway through like was a challenge, and not because of any of you guys at all. It was just like the finding the footing was challenging, and I really kind of liked that Dahlia was like always kind of the odd one out. Like she was always kind of the odd duck. And I think everybody felt like an odd duck, and that's why like the group was so solid. And it makes sense that ducks all go in their own directions. And so I think it was a really fitting ending for Dahlia. So I was really, really happy with it and saw it coming. We knew it was going to happen, planning for it, in fact.
You answered the question before I even got to ask it, but I do want to shout it out. It was Brent asking Dahlia, was your final death after Strahd died inevitable? Was it a sealed choice at some point? Could it have been avoided / undone? Possibly, depending on what Dahlia did. But yes, we did. Betty and I had talked about that before she even joined.
Yeah, I was like, what if I made a character that was gonna die for certain?
Yeah,
Like,
it was. There are so many messages that I love from you guys that I've gotten, and that was one of them. The other one that I specifically remember in my DMs before the campaign even started was from May, and it was like, what if I murdered my husband? Love that. Still think about that to this day.
hypothetically.
Normal Wednesday midday DM message from May.
Yeah. So,
Wait, I want to say
what
about
if?
Dahlia's death when the last thing she asked for was to help ZL. That was like the sweetest thing anyone's ever done forever. Like, I wish she could, God, like ZL would just die if she knew that. Like, I mean, I know she knows in her heart of hearts, but like, she would just be like, I could live forever with the love of the moon, my friend, the moon.
Yes. It was so sad. I remember thinking, because I literally have a sticky note here. Give life energy to Rudolph. When I knew I was gonna die and I knew Rudolph was dead, and I was like, if there's any way I can make a deal to like bring him back. And then I did, and I was like, amazing, check. And then I was like, shit, there's still problems. Okay, how do we fix this? So I didn't know. That's one thing I didn't know, is I didn't know I was gonna ask for that deal to be broken, but it just really felt right. And then Kate was there, and I was like, fuck you. I was so mad. I understood it though. I kind of knew that I wasn't gonna get it. I already pushed my luck, but
I will say, even if you didn't get the even if that was your only afterlife question or option, Cade probably wouldn't have allowed it. And that was one thing that was brought up in Spoiler Room after the finale dropped. I loved reading everyone's just full essays on it. And one of the things, I actually think it was Bowie, who brought up that I'm glad that it didn't happen, because it truly shows that everyone's actions are locked in. They have consequences. Having Cade's deal with ZL broken would almost make Theron's death kind of It seemed like it was pushed off to the side, and that it truly solidified that every deal was set in stone until it was followed through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think her ending up with Kate is like her paying her dues. It's not like tra la 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 la. It's like, well, Theron is dead because of this deal, or not. I mean, not, but all related. So
Yeah.
All right, Alizato, your turn to talk about endings. It's so fun.
I think Alizato's end is probably the most surprising to all of you and probably the listeners too, and me as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think there is a question in there that somebody wrote about Alizato and like knowing about reincarnations. I very much thought of Alizato, actually kind of funny enough, kind of like Betty, where I was like, okay, cool. It'd be dope if I have a character that's like aware that he has died and he has died again. So he plays into the whole like Valaki thing. So I guess how I thought about it was like, actually, it's very funny because I know specifically I wrote to Ryan that I actually wanted Alizato to fade away, but I wasn't very direct with that. I actually legitimately wanted it to be a thing where like, well, Ryan gave that amazing ending with the boys, so that was great. But I actually just wanted it to be a thing where like he says bye to the boys and then nature just claims Alizato back. So it's just like, okay, cool, and then we just cut. He's passing between some trees and then he just turns into leaves and then it just takes him, right? But then having it be a thing where like he then grows older to the point of then dying and then the land wraps around him to take him was also incredible, because I think I thought of Alizato as the Asamar, the fallen Asamar thing, where it's like, you know, they're like not champions of the gods, but like they do the gods bidding. So it's like, okay, Alizato's god is Mother Nature. So then Mother Nature wants to keep him alive and wants to keep him going until he can figure out what that thing is that's making him come back constantly, but then is going to keep this regeneration cycle sort of like perpetually going. So then I think in the end it was like, well, then I think once everything's settled and everything's good, the land just says, okay, now we're done here. Like this is it. You know what I mean? Like you've done what you've done. You took care of the boys and Aziel got back home and everyone is sort of like, you know, I guess for the lack of better words, it's like happy ending for everybody in Barovia, and then that's it. I just also didn't picture Alizato as like, I never pictured him as a character to keep going on until he's like way older. Cause I think to me, it's like, he's already lived all these lives. So he's like, he's done. He's more here for a purpose. And it's like the first one was the young kid who's like, I'm a druid and I'm happy and I'm here I'm going to turn Strahd into a good guy and he'll listen to me. And then Strahd kills him. And then his second version is the fallen Asamar version. The like, I am evil. I am here to do nothing but prove a point, and I don't care who I have to get through to prove that point. And in turn, I will kill myself to prove that point. And then the finalized version, Alizato, is an amalgamation of all of those things. Angry, bitter, but jovial and fun, and kind of like a kid, but kind of like an old man, you know? So it's like, that's really kind of how I just thought about him. So I didn't picture him progressing on forever and ever. But now if there's like a one shot that we do, maybe like a PvP, I mean level 20 Alizato could really do some conjure animals up in this shit. But
Conjure so many animals.
No,
God.
with level 20.
so many
Alizato.
animals. But yeah, I guess if that kind of answers the question, yeah, that's kind of it. But also to bounce off of the question that was, I don't know who it was from, Ryan, pardon me, but they asked about this whole thing with like Tanis, and then like Tanis trying to remember like his past life, and it was Alizato had been referenced before. He was introduced as a person who knows about reincarnation when Tanis was asking to learn more about his own past life, but the two never really got a good time to have a discussion on it. Would Alizato have been able to give any advice on how to recall events of his life to Tanis if he asked?
So sick.
I think Alizato would have been interested in like the possibility of it, but I think Alizato is I didn't want to be too game breaking, you know what I mean? Where like Ryan had also given me instead of oh my god, now I'm thinking of Toll the Dead, but it's not Toll the Dead. Speak with plants. So then it was like speak with the land. So then it was like, okay, cool, that's a good way of like, we could potentially like do that, but I think that came after Tannis, if I'm not mistaken, or like right towards the end of
We
Tannis.
had gotten those
when I got
Yeah,
that.
because we got a number of items right around the same time. I know because the coin that I got was similar, but I never had a chance to use it. So I think in the same way, would have been that Speak with the Land. I think that was like right before the feast.
It was, yep.
Yeah, so I think also Alizato, like the way that Viazato ran everything, it was kind of like there's the young kid who has no idea, and then there's the middle person that's like very bitter, angry, but he is just feverishly writing, and he writes all that he can remember, all that the land wants him to remember. So it's kind of like, who, I guess technically, who knows if it's even real, but to Alizato is very much real. And it's like, there is a reason for why this is fueling him and doing all these things. So I just thought it was very cool. And then when I told Ryan, I was like, can I play this like character that like comes back and knows, but he really knows, and he switches his eyes to like dictate what emotion he's kind of feeling, recalling on which character. And he was like, yeah, dude. And I was like, let's go. So yeah, it was very fun. It was very, very fun. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe Tannis. I don't know. Maybe if you were like kind enough, but you were so nice. You were so nice. It sucked. I could lose everybody. And I really, I really wanted also a moment. I feel like later on, sorry, now to bounce back into something else, Alizato then also, I Jose, wanted to kind of explore this thing of, and I kind of did with my past selves, and I kind of mentioned it to, I think, Theron at one point, where it was like, Alizato had brothers, and that's how he refers to himself. So then it was like, oh, wouldn't it be kind of cool to like actually have brothers? You know what I mean? Like two sort of like quote unquote just male presenting individuals that he can be like, oh, here they are. But then when they were stripped away, I then, in my unsurprising but also very welcomed way, it was like, oh, but now I have sisters. Ooh. And it was like the one thing that I didn't anticipate, and it was like, oh my god, like, and it essentially to me it's like, and then it reshaped everything else that Alizato was doing, because then it was like Theron and Tannis are kind of like Alizato, and they all are just gonna fuck around if given the chance. But Dahlia and Ziel and Ez by proxy as well, it's like, oh, this is a very different dynamic. So yeah, sorry, I kind of bounced all over the place, but
I love it.
I love it. Keep
love
talking
it.
about
I
it.
know, for real.
Genuinely,
My favorite.
I'm like, I feel that with everybody's answer. I'm like, so when's the dissertation? Just let me.
And how do you really feel? Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, please do. In depth, just go on. Yeah.
I also never played a druid, so I was like,
I would
excited.
never have guessed that. You did such an incredible
Truly.
job with like, not just mechanically, but even just like flavor wise. I would never have guessed that was your first time playing a druid, because you did such a fun job of making it feel not mechanical, like it was like you had. Anyway, sorry. Very cool.
Oh, thank you. That's very
cool.
nice.
Can I say something funny about Alizato? Just to bring it up in case anyone doesn't know.
Absolutely.
I just love that this was a common theme in the Discord. Everyone always pictured Alizato as like a short dwarf.
Yes.
And
So
he was
weird.
like so tall. Like he was like freakishly
He's probably
tall.
the tallest out
And
of the whole group.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
like he
funny.
was so tall.
Why did everyone think he was so short?
I don't know. Every time someone found out, they're like, "Wait, what? He's tall? What do you mean? He's taller than Ciel and Dahlia?" Like,
We had the same phenomenon in campaign 1 where everyone pictures Vince's character Jet with a man bun, even though he just has a buzz cut.
That's so funny.
Alizato is just
thought he had a man bun.
in everyone's head
And
canon
then Theron
is
did.
short, which is, but no, he's a big
works.
beefy boy.
Yeah, he's more like
Massive.
Tormund.
Yeah, exactly.
Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Basically, yeah. Alizato is Tormund. Essentially, that's what I was like. I love that character, and I was like, I want to play that character, but like, if then we saw more of him in the north, where like he's really just a savage animal, I was like, I
That
wanted
was the reference we sent to Alex for the cover art, and that was your token for one whole episode, because I needed a token and we didn't know the art yet.
Yeah, viciously. Yeah.
Ever
It's
since
like,
that episode, I always viewed him as Tormund.
Yep, it's so perfect.
Oh, good.
So perfect.
Yep. Anytime I think of Alizato, it's just Tormund.
It's Tormund. Yep.
Yeah.
It's the same way. Yeah.
except he reacts
He's
to
the
women
boy.
very differently than Tormund.
Yes.
So
Very much so. Very much so. Right.
Yeah.
Has never had an interaction with a woman, so he's like, I mean, like in that level, so he's like, oh boy. None of my teachings or my past lives prepared me for this.
Hitting the books.
A
I don't
woman.
know. Yeah. This isn't in the script.
I do have a question for Anna. And this is a little combo piece with Christian.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For Esmeralda, if Tanis had lived long enough to meet Esmeralda, how do you both think the players see their first meeting going, especially with Esmeralda's whole silver dagger greeting? Would she and or Van Richten have still been keen to help the party knowing a werewolf was a part of it?
I'll say she doesn't use a silver dagger. She actually uses a normal dagger, like a steel dagger, because a werewolf will heal if it's not silvered. So it's a normal dagger, but not well. No, I don't think she'd be chill about it.
I don't think so either.
Dennis's death confirmed one way or another. Either he dies by Isaac or dies by Esmeralda. That's just confirmed.
Inevitable.
Yeah, has to go.
It depends on like the circumstance of where they are and stuff, whether it would be like instant fight, but like she would never trust or like put anything of importance on his shoulders or like in his hands. And yeah, she'd be like, if we have to work with this guy for like necessity, we can temporarily, but like I'm not trusting him.
And that makes complete sense, because I feel like it probably would have been the masquerade, would have been your first meeting. And at that point, you haven't known the others. Van Richten might have spoken about them, but enough for...
Yeah, if Van Richten had any... Van Richten could sway her, but that's it.
Yeah, but is that enough? Would that have been enough? Like, would Van Richten have talked about it enough to put that level of trust in you to be like, hey, I just met this group of individuals and one of them is a werewolf, but they're vouching for him? Like, how far is that really going to get you? That is true.
Would Van Richten have known that Tanis was a werewolf?
Would Van Richten have even known?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the really fun elements, and I don't know, to bounce partially back to the other question that I'm is with the ending point and how it affects the character. Was it similar to what I thought it was going to be? But with Tanis, the werewolf thing was such a fun. I would love to, in my mind, have been able to, if he had survived longer, explore that more. Because for me, the idea of, especially when we got to Vallaki, when they had, I think, werewolf heads on spikes outside, was like
lots
the
of wolf
town
heads.
intro. And it was this moment where I felt very much playing that character of like a heightened sense of like, oh fuck, yeah, like we're hunting a monster, but like also that's me. And it played incredibly well with Theron, like happenstance being like, hey, you're like a monster or something, you know. And it became like this really interesting like headbutt moment where I think for Theron, he's like, what the fuck is your deal, you know? But for Tanis, it was massive because it was not a choice that he made. It was something that happened after a decision, you know, like lore wise, he becomes this werewolf after a fight he thought where he was gonna die, where he kills his brother and then he wakes up and now he's a werewolf with a fuck ass metal Winter Soldier creepy ass eldritch arm that does weird shit. None of that was his call, right? So now he's just sort of like existing in that world. So I think there's this element of like he wants to survive. Yeah, absolutely. But if he gets to this point where somebody's like, hey, here's my anti-werewolf test, I think he's probably just going to be like, hey, let me just be so real with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to cut me with a dagger. I'm the werewolf. Like, you know, it's not, you don't have to do that. You don't have to stab me. I'll just tell you, I'm a werewolf. If you want to kill me for that, you can. I think that was kind of his mentality where he was, and I think somewhat kind of similar to like what ZL mentioned, her feeling towards the end of the campaign was something that I dealt with Tanis. And one of the things again, speaking of their end line, it's a weird flip, right? I wanted Tanis to get to a point where he would have chosen something different, where he would have been like, no, fuck you. I want to live. But where he was at that point, I think he would have been like, oh yeah, for all of the sins that I've committed, 1, killing my fucking brother, and 2, for like just being a bounty hunter who killed a bunch of people, and 3, just kind of being a piece of shit in general. Like, I think he would have been like, yeah, if that's your gig, your whole gig is hunting me, then yeah, I'm not going to fucking win this one, I don't think. Like, that's probably not going to go my way.
Speaking of werewolves, this was one of the talking points that I had written down, was, which would have made Esmeralda being in the party so much trickier was one thing that Tanis saw in the what could have been portion of his book was his mother reading the Dragon Rider story in a werewolf den inside Barovia. We could have met Tanis's mom, who was exiled from Tanis's city, and he had no idea where she went off to. She ended up wandering into the mists of Barovia and found her place among the werewolves, which is partially another reason Tanis can do his werewolf stuff. But we could have had that sort of interaction, which would have been heart-wrenching.
I could not deal with meeting his mother after he was dead, please.
Exactly.
Literally.
That would have been crazy.
Okay. I want to jump. So to jump in and to jump back a little bit, the question of like, how did your character end and where did you see their ending being? What's the difference between them there?
Yeah.
At the time of with Tanis specifically, the ending, that moment, everything was happening so quickly that I was really just sort of reacting to information and making decisions based in like just how I was feeling at that moment. Which I don't regret that at all. Love that. But I was left later that night to sit and stare at the ceiling and be like, oh fuck, he's dead. I killed him. As the writer being like, I kind of made that, so I kind of killed him.
I walked around my house with a corona crying then.
I truthfully just sat awake I just like stared at the ceiling. I was like, he's gone. Because in my mind, Tanis' story was going to be very interesting because I wanted him to go from being this very like in the shadows, like do what I have to get from point A to point B, help as much as I have to get from point A to point B. Like I kind of whatever, very like emo Han Solo in a way, but not nearly as cool. Like
so
very
Kylo Ren.
Emo. Kind of,
might say.
minus like the insane force powers. Yeah, right. Like Kylo Ren, but if he's just a guy.
He's got insane werewolf powers.
Oh
He
my
does have the
God.
werewolf thing. I guess that's true. He does have insane werewolf powers. But anyway,
Oh my God, we were Raylo. Fuck.
we were so close. So of like endings that you're like, oh man, how would you change? I need someone to know this. I need someone to understand that when Ryan was texting me, because again, I'm not experiencing this shit as it's going down. And he's like, you're never going to believe what just happened with Theron and ZL. I was like, oh, what?
You were snitching, Ryan?
Yeah.
Well, he was telling me, yeah, I needed to know. Because Tanis is in the afterlife watching it. And he's like, yeah. So you remember how you decided to give your life to one individual? They are going to murder ZL. That's what they're into right now.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, I was like, I had somebody at the convention ask me, like, would you have done things differently? Yes, I would have. Darren would have died right there on the street. And Tanis would have been so sad. That's just been how that went down. Yeah, if I could do it again, Darren dies.
And that's the joys of the not even like I don't want to say the pre-planning, but that's just the joys of the character development, because that was something that Vince and I had talked about from day one. He was like, I want to betray the party. I want to not be seen
Vince,
as
I
like.
want to know what you were gonna do without me, because I bet you would have sacrificed Tanis. But what if it wasn't me? Then what the fuck were you gonna do?
You were always gonna live.
Shut
You
up!
were
Yeah,
always gonna live.
I know. I tried to die, and you guys wouldn't let me.
I should have let you die. Yeah, I should have just let you die. I think that's the consensus of
That's
Nocturne.
the thing, though. That wasn't the plan from the beginning. It was at a certain point. Both Ryan and I think we decided, like, yeah, Theron's dead. Like, he's gone.
What was the transition for you? Like, okay, so I know that like Theron is a character who has so many different like compelling elements into what makes their decision making, but like at what point were you like, oh, this is straw that breaks the back, this is the way we're going, this is the direction Theron goes?
I have one note. I'm so sorry. After the Blood Pact, it was going to be you, Tanis, and then it slowly transitioned into ZL.
Yeah.
You were gonna kill
Fuck
me?
you either way. You were fucked.
Yeah.
You were my brother, Anakin.
That was the thing. That's what it was supposed to be.
Let him die.
I should have. I know.
Because
Looking back, I'm like, wow.
my like
Unbelievable.
view for Theron when we first started the campaign, but like before session 0 and everything like that, when I was talking with Ryan, I was making my character, I told him, I'm like, I want to be a bad guy. This is what some people wanted. They, like fans have asked and all
And
that.
then I made you good. I made you good.
I wanted to be an asshole. I wanted to be the one to betray the party. I've always wanted to play a character like this. I've never been able to. And my plan, like I had this whole thing, and I told Ryan from the beginning too. I'm like, I would love it if there was like a scene where, like how I was kind of planning with Tannis at first, and then it turned into ZL, but then changed completely in the end, was gain everybody's trust, make them think that I'm one with them. But behind the scenes, I'm making my own plans of I'm going to kill you. I'm going to get super powerful. I'm going to get what I want, what I've been working for, what I've been working towards all these years, and fuck everybody else. I'm going to try to, I was going to try to TPK.
Mhm.
And I was wondering if like
As
one of
if
my
you could
ideas was
have,
what if I got
Literally.
powers from Cade and I became a god basically, and then it turned into a boss fight of all of you against me.
That was
And
the OG plan.
I was literally like wanting to end the campaign like that.
Vince!
Tannis was one of the things that started to change it. And then because you and that whole situation of like learning, oh shit, I can have connections with other people instead of just trying to gain my brother back, and then gaining a relationship with ZL in the end too, that is what slowly rolled this into, okay, I don't want to TPK anymore, but I still want to betray in the end in a different way. And then that betrayal then turned into, I need to, my character needs to have a different type of ending that turned into what it did. Yes, May? And
That's okay. I just have to talk about something. I don't need to
I have
interrupt,
some-
but I
I have
just need
something
to
else
talk
too
about it
after.
adjacent to I just have to talk about ZL ending up with Kate again after hearing all of
fuck
this
you.
shit. No, because wait.
I have a
What?
question
Fine.
for the two of you, which could lead into that if you're cool with that, May. If you're
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
with 1 second. This is for the both of you.
Go ahead.
All right. This is from Frosty Gears. In a what if scenario where ZL and Theron were somehow able to
No.
break their packs and
No.
both survive, do you think they would have continued to pursue what was building between them, or do you see their relationship as something to hold on to survive the trauma, but would have fallen apart after leaving Barovia?
when
Hold on. I
Theron-
gotta say my thing first.
All right, good.
Phenomenal question.
Great.
Banger.
Phenomenal question.
It's just a trauma bond and they don't actually have a connection. That's crazy.
I'll answer Hayden's question 1 second. I've seen this one in the chat. I know it's a thing.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
afraid of it this whole time. Now, I just want to say one more thing about
Afraid?
ZL's
Are you
ending.
afraid of your feelings?
I want to say one more thing about ZL's ending with Cade being a happy ending, quote unquote, for her, which is the
Happy
fact that
my ass. Go on.
ZL's right. We've talked about this already a bunch in this episode. Is how ZL is all about choice, right? And that's her like struggle from the beginning to the end. It's like making choices, being allowed to make choices, or then even when she does have the power to have to make choices. And the fact that I think that she went through this whole journey, and this is where I could get really psychological and we could talk about my own personal life, but we're not going to do that. But she essentially had chosen someone who didn't choose her. Like, I know Tannis was a lovely partner in the time that they had together, but like he chose to take that fight, right? And ZL's like, well, why the fuck would you have done that when we were like right here to help? So Tannis chose, like, he was being a good person, but he didn't choose her. To her, he didn't choose her. Theron obviously didn't choose her. By bringing her to the battle, and I know Theron did everything he could to, like, same as Tannis, everything he could to, like, alleviate it or, like, make it better for her as bad as the situation was, but in the end, again, was not choosing her. So the fact that, despite the fact, and maybe I'm crazy, but let me justify my girl, okay? The fact that she ended up with Cade, who is someone who was the one offering the choice to her, but also chose her. And like we talked about, like he could have like dissociated the thing at the end. And yeah, maybe it's wrong that if he didn't because he chose her, like whatever. But he chose Ziel, and then he chose her again after, and all the help he offered with like the feats and the Mordenkainen and all the stuff he did to help at the end. Like he chose her, even if it was for his own measures or whatever, but then he still kind of proved that it wasn't just that by coming back at all, like at the end or whatever. So now on to Hayden's question.
Theron would have, if the situation turned into where Baron can come back, we kill Cade, we like everything goes splendid and world is great, everything's saved, and we have the option to like continue our lives together, it would have happened in Theron's eyes because it's the only like true, besides familial love, it's the only true love that he actually felt. And when he makes a decision, and that is where he would be, and nothing would change about that.
I think they would have continued on together, hopefully till the end of Theron's shorter lifespan, which would have been a whole nother sad thing to go through. The fact that he lives a normal lifespan, and Ziel, even not immortal, Ziel in theory should be living to be like 600, 700 years old or whatever it is.
Wait, how long do Asmars live?
I think you're like 75 or something. It's like
I thought
human.
It was just a little over
Like
a
humans?
human.
Or maybe just over human, but it was not.
I thought it was 120.
Like,
up to 160.
Oh, really?
160, okay.
Well, still,
was
that's
120.
like, if I live to be 700, that's still.
Yeah, it's still
but
quarter, not even of your life or whatever.
yeah, I mean, they were for sure trauma bonded, but also, like, I think they made a good pair. The problem is, and which would have been fun maybe to see play out, is that Theron was still alive when Ziel had to make the deal with Cade to not die, which she also kind of made partially for Theron. Even at that point, she's like, I can't like become a vampire now. Like I can't become Slade's spawn. Right? Like I have to finish this. And so she made the deal with Cade. But then, like, yeah, like what would they have done to dispose of a god after all
We
this?
would have killed them.
Or would
We
it
would
have
have
been
killed
like,
them.
I don't know.
That is my
You
only...
said that about so many guys that
listen,
did not die. So
all
don't
I'm-
say you would have killed them.
All I'm saying is Jose saw that stat block. That I'll leave it at that.
My only regret in this campaign was that Cade didn't die.
Oh, you don't have any other regrets, Theron? No others?
You have zero?
What
No
would I
other
regret?
regrets?
What would I regret?
You just want to go on
Funny.
record
I'm
as
gonna.
saying zero?
Good thing I'm a god because I'm gonna kill you again. I'm coming for your ass in the afterlife. I
Listen,
swear to God.
everything that had to happen happened, and there was some good things that
And that's what I'm saying.
that came of it in the
You don't hear him,
end.
chat. Chat, do you hear him?
Hey,
He made
what
his
can I
choice.
say? My character was supposed to go and try to kill everybody, and he ended up gaining a beautiful relationship with somebody that he ended up having to give his own life in the
Traumatize
end
further.
to allow the other to live.
But in a similar vein and in a similar fashion to the question, but if the situation hadn't presented itself, would you, Theron, have pursued the relationship with Ziel?
If there was no...
If the situation didn't present itself and it sort of worked out in a way where like you were able to get your brother and you were able to get those things that your character needed, but there wasn't that ultimatum of your life at stake except for the finale, would you say that there was an avenue for you to explore that relationship?
Damn.
Like, it probably... No, because he wasn't searching for a relationship. He wasn't searching for anything. The only reason
You underestimate
that
me.
the relationship occurred was because he was going to try to use her. He was trying to, because that was the whole thing is first he was going to use Tanis. Tanis is gone. Okay, now he's going to use Ziel so that he can gain her trust and give that true soul for his brother's soul. If he was able to then get his brother's soul back and life goes back to hunky dory, yay, everything's beautiful. No, he wouldn't have gone after Ziel at all. But because of that, and because he saw the true beauty in her, that is what changed him.
Okay, so but that's the thing. But so, and I'm asking because I am just fangirling on this. But you say that there's a change. So then does that change then incentivize Theron to pursue, you know what I mean? It's like there is an acknowledgement of change. So is there such a thing as to be like, well then is that worthy to be explored more, if you will? Because I understand what you're saying. Like you very much were like, Theron's gonna play this character and it's gonna blindside all of us, which it very much did, and it was very like epic and all of these things, and you played him amazingly well. I'm just more asking on this level because I very much very heavily ship Theron and Ziel. That was kind of like that was my
Correct,
ship.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You and
but I think it's because
everybody else.
But you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, because I feel like that connection.
We were pretty
like, he
funny
wouldn't-
together after that orphanage trip.
Yeah.
You guys fought a demon
After that
child
trip to the
together.
orphanage, we were knee slapping all the way
I
home.
feel like that wouldn't happen in the end though, because if he didn't have to try to get that connection, he wouldn't have sought it out before.
But she's just there. It's not about seeking it out. It's that Ziel would still be there being the
Right.
same person.
I do hear what
Right.
Vince
Right.
is. Sorry, I'm gonna shut up.
No, what were you gonna say?
No, we're all
Okay.
on the ship. We're all on the ship.
Cool. We wanted to check, but no. It's like, okay, so I do see a little bit what Vince is saying about Theron, where it's like, okay, some of that change comes from the fact that I have decided to take this, make this character choice. If I'm going to pursue this relationship or whatever, and if you don't have to do that, then maybe you don't notice those things. Maybe you don't see her as like you don't see the intrinsic beauty in Ziel as much as you're like another human.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
exactly.
Ah,
Because
like in the
he
movie, she's
isolated
all
himself
that.
so much, and then
Right.
being forced in with this party like he had been in the past, but he was always betrayed or it just didn't work out right, and that's how he had some of the scars that he had and that's, like I said, why he didn't eat in front of you guys, because it was a point of weakness. It was a point of him like not paying full attention. His focus is not on everybody, so something could happen, because he was attacked once when he was just simply eating on his own, like with the group, and somebody came from behind him basically. So there was no trust with anybody except for him and his brother.
Okay. Now, Ryan, I'm sorry, if I may ask
Absolutely.
another question. So now let's flip the table, and Christian. So Theron goes down against the battle with Isaac. And I don't want to take this away from Ziel or May. I don't want to take away any agency on choice. So please feel free. But like, do you then feel that Tanis and Ziel potentially could have then pursued that avenue? Because the thing is that I got your guys' relationship from the time we spent together, but I technically really only spent 9 episodes with
Tanis,
Christian as Tanis. So I guess back over the net to you, Christian.
Sure. And
Toss it over. Yeah.
I also have another thing. After Christian, how would that have affected the proposal? Continue, Christian.
Oh, good. Oh, serve point to Ryan.
Okay. Okay. So, have I spent a lot of time thinking about this? Yes, I have. So, in my mind, I think that again, the line I was pursuing with Tanis was one where he really does, at his like core, Kid Tanis, like the OG, like is like a lover boy, like super into making connections and being with people, and he's like super into drama. And
He was a
romance and dance and song.
socialite. That man was a socialite.
He was born to be like full on courtesan dance. Like he was in it. He loved it. But that was not the line that he got to go down, right? So my idea was that he would be rediscovering that throughout this campaign in a weird sort of way, right? Like going through this
Tannis was
horrific
supposed to go to the ball.
was.
Yep.
Yeah, because again,
We had
one of
so
the
many
interesting-
plans.
One of the fun elements of like the original, the first dance that we sort of got to do is that you get that sort of hint into,
I was just about to piggyback off that. There's never supposed to be music in that ballroom in Death House. That was something that I provided for Christian as a hint to his future stuff that goes on, so he could have that option to dance.
it was a big part of his character. And so that to say that I think I guess in a weird, not parallel, but I guess similar direction. So with Theron being like, I don't want to connect with anybody, and then I accidentally, in trying to betray everyone, realized humans are valuable. I think Tanis really does want to connect with people and really struggles with that in a similar way that we won't get into right now. Psychologically, it's a very interesting discussion as far as like where I was at or whatever, and things that I was discovering about who I was. But that with Tanis, I think that going forward, had he survived that event, I think that want to connect would have gotten a lot stronger. And I think for him, there was always an element of thinking of Ziel as someone, some sort of like that she was always the things that he kind of was sad that he had lost. And so there was an envy there that she sort of was able to freely like not only express those like joyous elements, but also contain a lot of power in doing so. But I think that maybe having experienced like losing Theron, that it could have potentially opened a different door where it's like, oh, maybe instead of being so afraid of what could potentially go wrong, that he would have been a lot more willing to be like, okay, well, let's see, what this could look like. So I do think that, yeah, had that been a different situation, had he survived that event, there would have been a lot more of him that was more openly connected. I think first to Ziel, that was the one person I think that he was intensely sort of like loyal to of the group. Sure. But then I think even more broadly than that, there would have been a want to be loyal to. And I'd even talked to Ryan very briefly. Go ahead.
Another thing I forgot about too was at brunch, you said you were gonna make Irina fall in love with you. Would that have had any effect on any sort of choices?
I wanted to piss Strahd off so bad.
That was Tanis trying to piss off everyone in the room.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, correct. But mostly I wanted to go piss
typical
I wanted to
Tanis
piss
thing,
Strahd
yeah.
off. Yeah, he wasn't great at communicating. All right, he was working on that.
He didn't get that far. He didn't get to learn.
He didn't get to learn. His character arc
My
was
man
cut
can't
off.
read. How's he gonna communicate? Oh wait, that was Theron.
I could read. I was teaching the person who wanted to kill me how to read, so he could read my obituary after he fucking wrote it. Oh my God. Unbelievable. No, so to answer the question,
Holy shit.
as far as what Tanis's intentions would have been, I think he would have been much more honest with himself about how he felt about Ziel and about trying to at least pursue them to see what happened. And then what happens after that, who knows? Maybe I end up being killed by Cade. I don't know, but he would have been at least very straight up about that, because I know he always had that feeling, just was never going to communicate it because he was scared of, loss and all of the good stuff that gets you into being a D&D character.
Of course.
Nice.
Well, yeah, that was partly from it very much inspired by Hayden Frosted Gears asked that question of Tanis.
Mm.
So very much inspired in that, like, would you have closed yourself off even further? So yeah, sorry.
No,
go
that's
ahead,
okay. Just on the topic of betrayal, I have one from Bowie for Betty. Between the chaos of Ziel being bitten by Strahd and having to make the pact with Cade, and Dahlia's own desire to protect the party from her pain, I feel as though we didn't get a big moment of her reaction to Vasily's betrayal / Strahd's reveal. What was going through Dahlia's mind during that, and how close was she to Vasily?
I read this question and I was like, I'm so glad somebody noticed because
I
Dahlia's
completely
inner
forgot about that.
Yeah. Dahlia's inner world was shattered. I mean, Vasily was the only person during. Another question is somebody asked, like, how long was she down there? Like, what was the actual timeline of it? 30 years. 30 years, 3 decades, 30 years. She was down there for a very long time. And Vasily was the only person who was even gave any shit at all. Like, nobody cared about Dahlia down there. And it like, even me right now as Betty, thinking back to like thinking back, I wasn't there. It's not real. We're all having a team hallucination, but like in my brain, my memories
the
as
real moment. Yes.
yeah. My memories as Dahlia, like having Strahd come into the room and like rip her to shreds near death, trying to experiment on her and torture her and get information. He leaves the room. Vasily comes in 5 minutes later and like helps her like
Aftercare.
wrap her wounds.
Yep.
Literally. And it's just so crazy to have to live with that reality. Dahlia doesn't have to live with that reality. She doesn't have to live with anything anymore. Betty has to live with that reality now. And so it's just crazy to think about. So Dahlia was wrecked. Dahlia was wrecked, absolutely wrecked. And it really did shape how her determination to moving forward throughout the story. Finding that out really shook her to her core. So it was epic. It was so epic. It was such a good reveal. My heart was immediately in my sit bones. It was awful.
That was a fun one. Vasily was originally supposed to make Ziel fall in love with him. That was supposed to be that sort of storyline, was Vasily trying to swoon over Ziel, yada yada.
Physically crafted for that.
Yeah, literally.
Yes, literally.
And,
You bastard.
and that was another that was another thing that May said before the campaign started was, I want to be a vampire. I was like, bet.
No, I said if I end up a
That's
vampire,
canon.
that's
I wouldn't
okay.
be mad about it.
No, but
Funny.
let's go back. You said that you wanted to be a vampire. I think
Yeah, but then I had people I had to protect, and Strahd was
I
a
know.
bitch, and I didn't
The
want to be a
receipts,
vampire
yeah.
anymore.
The betrayal would have been a lot heavier had that relationship blossomed. But again, the way the campaign works out and your guys' choices shape the entire story. We got that betrayal focus on Dahlia, and I think having it centered around one person was a little bit more impactful, at least from a character development standpoint. I have one more for Betty while we're over here talking about the end and all of that.
End.
This one is from Frosted Gears. In the years to come, after being ascended to the status of a new celestial body, how does Dahlia feel about the inevitable cleric following she might get? And what would be her favorite spell to grant her followers?
I loved this question. I love this question. Oh my god, I love this question. I've been pondering this question since it was posted. I think, okay, because we have to establish what are the rules of being the moon, right? Do I have a consciousness? Is there an internal dialogue? Can I talk to people? There's like rules of the universe to be built to answer this question. But I think in general, right, if we're assuming Dahlia has a consciousness and can think and can bestow power upon people, I think that she would feel so awkward about it. She would not know how. She would be like, "You're doing wonderful," and they'd be like, "What can I do?" And she'd be like, "Wait, you got a good thing going on. You're just keep on keeping on, buddy." Like she would have
Be
no idea.
whimsical.
Be whimsical. Like
Oh
I
my God.
do think she would really gravitate toward people who were protectors and healers. That would definitely be her shtick. And I think her favorite spell would be Moonbeam. It would be Moonbeam
Fair.
and Daylight. She would be like, she would say something beautiful and poetic, like I was brought here by the morning, and now I'm going to bestow upon you the power of the night and give them daylight and moonlight or moonbeam.
Mhm.
And something like that, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" Is how I see it in my mind.
They'd be like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, this is awesome."
Wouldn't they? Don't you think? That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. And I will say too, the most recent picture from the Artemis 2 of the moon, and she's got all these beautiful colors on her
Yes.
surface. I was just like
So
so
pretty.
moved. I'm like, that's
Blown
Dahlia.
away.
That's
That's
exactly what.
bestie.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that's
I know her.
So I know her.
That's my maid of honor.
Exactly.
That's my maid of honor.
That's my maid of honor. Yeah. Love that question. Great
Hell yeah.
question.
I have one for Jose, which still to this day reigns our most viral Nocturne clip. And it was how Alizato changed when Danica died due to the masquerade. Was it something you expected? Looking back, how do you think it affected Alizato going forward and his end? I mean, we obviously saw his moment with the Mardukov boys, Brom and Bray, at the very end.
Oh, sure.
And I would love for you to go over that.
Okay. So I think it's very much that. Also, that's crazy that that's the clip because there's some crazy ones out there.
Something about it.
Well, I mean, major props to you, Ryan, because you also then what we have to remember very much about that scene though is everything that came before it. So it was kind of like the sleepover moment, right, where everybody's hanging out in the room and we're all having a good time and we might have a sleepover and we're gonna possibly talk to gods and some of us might die and some of us might not. And it's gonna be great, like we're having that moment.
So fun.
Like every
But then it's like super
That's
sweet.
what happens once it's an all-girls party. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah. Texting God, seeing if they like us or not. Exactly. Right. So, what the thing though is that I think what you gave to me was a moment of Alizato is caring for these people here, and very much in D&D parties, you will always care about your friends because they're your friends, they're the people you see all the time. But you don't want them to die because duh. But then all of a sudden to have an outside person. That's this very clear and prominent NPC in the story because we always go back to the Blue Water Inn and we're always seeing Danica and we see the boys and we saw what was his name? Her husband from before.
Erwin.
Erwin, thank you. So it's like I think you also then built it in such a way where it's like, at least to Alizato, these are people that he has seen constantly outside of the party. So I think you also then prompted a really interesting conundrum, I guess, because Alizato was very content in saying, I really don't like children and I don't want to do anything with children. So I think then you giving him children, I think it sort of allowed him to assess and say like, okay, what is it really that bothers you? Is it you're just an old man and being a little like frumpy about this? Or like if you were placed with a responsibility before you, the literal creation of two people by the laws of nature, if you will, the very thing that you're embodied and sent here to do, will you just give them up? Will you just like, and yes, don't get me wrong, there was definitely another part of me that was like, yeah, maybe we just sort of leave them to the orphanage and we sort of let that play out as it naturally would. But I think it kind of became a thing of like, damn, now I kind of have something, maybe not necessarily to fight for, but it's a calling card, right? It's a constant sort of like, remember back to Danica, and Danica asked you, and then she bestowed upon you the Keepers of the Feather. So it's like, it felt like kind of like Alizato's little side thing that was like outside of the party, but within the party. So that was really cool too. And then when the Keepers of the Feathers came on and they came to help, I was like, I don't know these guys, but they just showed up here and we can trust them, so, but I think it was a very beautiful moment. I think it was a very important moment to Alizato because it allowed me also to then refocus. And I also, again, I'm a sucker for change in tones and, like letting the situations play out in a way where like we're all having fun and drinking and then immediately it's serious to then immediately like, now I have to go back to everybody and be like, hey guys, well, that's right. While we're all having a good time and celebrating and having fun, the constant threat of Barovia is ever looming, and it's just down the hallway, So yeah, it was great. It was a really cool moment.
It was that full 180 from your room to Danica's room, and it was such a grounding moment, bringing you back to reality, where you guys had 100%. Found the success. You are planning your move forward. You're going to talk with Cade. There's so much going right for you after the masquerade. Yeah, I guess you could say, despite the masquerade, only for it to just be fully brought back down and realize that this is Barovia after all.
Right. No matter how much you're relishing in all of that joy and all of that happiness outside of you. And who knows if even I had gone to that room, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it could have, it was Danica and it could have been somebody else. So yeah, it also broadens the severity or the stakes at play, So yeah, that was great. I will say,
before we get to Betty, just one last thing for you. In the finale messages, Everyone loves Papi Zato.
Oh, Papi. Papi Sato, bro. That's a tattoo, next tattoo right there on the neck. Papi Sato.
Betty hit it.
Call me that. Yo, that's my nickname from now on. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, on that same vein, Alisato, I think it's really interesting knowing what we know now about you playing with that idea of purpose, and like he can't. When his purpose is complete, that is when he can go and turn into leaves and be one with nature again. And I love knowing that, because when Strahd was killed, he did not fade into leaves because he still had a purpose with the boys. I think that's really beautiful, that like that moment of choosing to go into Danica's room. What is that game where it's like the butterfly appears and it's like, this is, you've
Life
taken
is
care of,
strange
like
until
this
dawn?
one. Yeah,
Yes.
life
Life is
is,
strange.
yes, both. Where it's
Yeah,
like
it was
this one
butterfly
choice.
effect.
This action will
Yeah.
have consequences or something.
Exactly. But in like a beautiful way where it's like, because you went into her room, and I don't know if it's maybe that clear of like a 1-to-1, but like because you made that choice, then you now have additional purpose. I thought that was really beautiful.
Right. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. Yeah, it's like a branch appears,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, now I also
New
have to take
timeline.
care of this. Yeah, that was new timeline. It was good.
I got a question for Anna over here.
What?
Yeah. Just how much of the homebrew parts of the story were you privy to before joining as an NPC? And did you expect to spend as much time as you did actually playing instead of just being DM backend support?
I'm gonna answer them in reverse order. No. I did not think I'd be in the final battle. I thought I was just gonna come in for a few episodes, party. Okay, bye, have fun. And then Theron had to do his thing.
His thing.
Is Theron ulted.
No, I just thought I'd be little NPC that was supposed to exist anyway, but I'd just be here being it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, they needed more people to not die to Baba Saga, so
Yeah.
for real.
And thank you for your sacrifice.
Yeah, literally.
Almost
And then
in the
what was
last battle too.
Yeah. No, I mean, she's a badass, but she is a wizard. So
Yep.
she drops.
That's canon.
Yeah. Homebrew, I think I was a privy to a lot in the beginning and less when I joined on, I guess, which makes sense.
I think
Like
so.
obviously I think we talked many months ago about what you would do to the if you would
Oh, yeah.
upgrade the Strahd stat block or not and such, but like I didn't remember what you said.
Yeah.
I assumed you would upgrade it because basically everyone does. But I told Ryan like because I do know at least a lot of what Strahd's stat block is going in. I'm just taking that as like that is the information that Esmeralda has via her expertise and like
Yeah.
Rudolph and stuff. And so anything that I know meta is Esmeralda's like expert knowledge.
It made so much sense too.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, and then anything else was surprise.
Mhm,
And yeah, I don't know. I just love Barovia so much. I love
I
Strahd. I
know.
love scheming. I love the castle. I love scheming with Ryan about what to do. So fun.
But I will, if possible, I have to give my flowers to you, Anna. Not only are you an incredible performer, but when Esmeralda kind of like joined in the way that she did, to the point earlier about like grounding, it very much was like, and this is a person who like lives here outside of the party that knows the world inside and out and knows all of these things. So like your knowledge of all of it too was like, oh, that's right. Like this is also a very lived in person here that we have to care for, protect, listen to, take advice from, so it was like, oh wow, like this is it became very much like, this is our adventuring party in Barovia. But then it was like, and then here's this other character that comes in that is very much of the world. It was like, oh, okay, cool. What a good way to like hook us back in.
Mm-hmm.
And you played Esmeralda incredibly as well. So
I can't thank you enough for your help too. So it was very fun getting to plot with you, and thank you for coming back to save our asses a little bit.
And I haven't.
don't ever plot with Ryan again.
And we haven't gone to play together in like 7 years or something. I don't know.
There it is, baby. The day I got the text from May that said, "What if I kill Irina?"
Oh my god.
What a time. That
There
was
were-
fucking crazy.
There was question after question about
Yes.
was this planned?
like the most asked
was
question.
it? Yeah, it was up there.
And I could not remember. I was stressed because I had this idea in my head that whenever Irina dies in Barovia, her body vanishes. Because that is like the curse of Strahd, and like he cannot turn her because her body vanishes and she goes back into
That's
the recycling
why.
system.
Oh,
So I was
Oh my
stressed,
God,
and
you
then
knew
I
that?
was like Googling it, and that's no, 'cause that's
Yeah. So
apparently it's not a thing, but it is what happened. I think the first time
Yeah,
that Tatiana
yeah.
died, but
Mhm.
that doesn't happen every time.
So
That's
I
hilarious.
didn't decide in the moment, but I did decide that day.
Yes.
Without
Yeah.
having talked to anyone about it previously. I think I was just like feeling I just was not feeling good going into Strahd's castle. I'm like, bad things are gonna happen, and they did.
Yep.
Despite our choices, and possibly because of, I don't know, a lot of people died at that wedding, so there's add on another couple hundred deaths.
Yep.
But it was kind of like the same when I woke up and like messaged Ryan. I was like, what if I kill my husband? And that's what I'm running from. I texted Anna though instead, because I was like, well, I don't know if I have to like surprise Ryan. I don't know. I'm like, what is this insane? And Anna has the most knowledge about Strahd, but also like, I don't know. She's also just the person here I text the most. And I was just like, I need to say this out loud. Which was to say in a text message. But I texted and I was like, what if I do this? And she's like, okay. Like
I was like, eyeballs.
she's like listening, and I'm like working it out in the text. I'm like, what if, because I think I could do this and like maybe this, but maybe either way it's better. I don't know. And then I messaged Ryan to ask if Ziel would think from everything she knows that Strahd would have the ability to like resurrect or revivify or whatever. Because in my head, I'm like, okay, he hasn't done that. I didn't know about the fucking body misting possibility.
Yeah.
But I was like, if she's been here all these lives already and all these hundreds of years and he hasn't been able to like just bring her back, like, then I don't think he can. But I texted Ryan this, and Ryan's like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, don't worry about it. And I go back to Anna. I'm like, Ziel thinks that he wouldn't have resurrection, so I think I'm gonna do this or whatever. And then we just did it.
And there we
that's
is.
what we did that night.
Yeah, that's what we did that night.
May, I was trying not to listen to the episode so I could have a backlog and like binge it all right before we did this, so that everything was pretty fresh in my mind. And then I think it was one day we were playing Magic, Ryan.
Oh yeah.
And we were like talking about
Guess what
something.
May
He goes,
did.
oh yeah, by the way, May killed Irina. And so then I'm like, oh,
Insane.
what the fuck? I'm like, excuse me? My brain went in so many different directions. I didn't know why in the world you would do something like that.
That day was really funny because you came into the Discord chat and you're like, you killed Irina. And I'm like,
Yep.
like you're allowed to talk about killing friends. Shut up.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But I will say that moment in session, in the moment, was absolute insanity. It's like
man.
top 3
Yeah.
moments for
Oh, yeah.
sure. Also because of the delivery in which you did it, major
I'm like
props. Because it's
crazy.
like,
I didn't know Ryan was gonna end the episode right there. Like I didn't know if I was just gonna kill. Like I mean, I was kind of, I don't know. I thought I was gonna kill her, but I'm like, okay, I have to be dramatic as hell. I have to drop it in this way, as Zia would do.
I just
But
so
it did,
good.
since I literally chose that day, like it did feel like a kind of like I think ZL had chosen as well. Like she's not feeling good. I really, after how many people we've lost in this campaign, I really thought we were not going to make it out of Strahd's Castle half as well as we did. So I was like, I was just like, what can I do to give us like an upper hand or whatever? And of course, like once the pieces start clicking, I'm like, oh my God, because then like Irina, I'm kind of saving Irina too, whether we win or lose, like she gets out of it. And like it just, yeah.
I gotta say, listening, you guys, like speaking of the castle and everything, that end fight, you guys kicked ass. Good job.
Truly.
Oh, it was terrifying. It was terrifying.
I can vouch
It
for
was,
you
yeah.
all. This was something I think I talked to May after the fight happened, where I finished that session up and I kind of sat here and I was initially disappointed in myself with the final Strahd fight. Because I was like, damn, I really wish I got to do more. And then the more I sat on it, the more I was like, no, it makes sense. Like Strahd has done so much to them this entire campaign, which is one of the reasons I love Curse of Strahd having such a prominent villain the entire time. But also like that was the entire reason for them to build up to this, to find these artifacts, to learn about the villain himself and realize his strengths. His ego is the best thing about him to hit on. And ultimately I realized that like, no, the fact that he couldn't do anything was proving that you guys all did your jobs. You learned about the villain, you acquired your knowledge, you completed your quests, and ultimately that's what led you to succeeding. Even if the fight was not really a cakewalk, but it worked out, like you said, way better than anticipated. And I just needed to realize that. So props to you all.
I
as well.
was
You made us
worried.
hate Strahd so bad that we had to just fucking
We
Yeah.
had to beat his ass.
Yeah.
We had to.
it was not enough to kill him, and to my final blow, we had to embarrass the shit out of him. Sorry
we did.
that was you
We
playing
did.
him, Ryan,
We
but we
did.
had
We
to do
did.
that.
It's okay.
I was stressed when he phased through the floor.
Yeah.
And we had to deal with furniture.
You guys dealt with that shit so fast.
Dude, that dispel magic was disgusting.
Honestly, I think that saved us because
Yeah,
I was like,
truly.
he's gonna heal so
Yeah.
much, and
Yeah,
we're
that
gonna
would've
be
sucked.
And he was
starting
going to.
back
Yeah.
at 0 and like
Yeah.
minus a bunch of spell slots. So like we're just gonna be so screwed.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
relieved he came back.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think I've ever done I've never cast a spell that worked as efficiently as that dispel magic on
It
those
was crazy.
objects. I was like, thank God it worked.
All right, I have two more questions. If you guys have any questions, again, please feel free to continue. We have all night, but this is kind of what I'm narrowing it down to. We're gonna end on one for Christian. Christian, this one is from Frosted Gears. If Tanis survived and killed Isaac, would he have followed through with all of those sentiments in the journal that ZL found? Or would he have closed himself off even further?
Ooh.
I think that's fun. I feel like we sort of started to touch on this earlier, and so I'll kind of go back to some of those sentiments. I think Tanis was at the point of that Isaac fight starting a sort of curve, I think, in his journey, which is, I think a little bit why he ends up in the situation that he does, where he's like, oh, I'm going to do this fight and save everybody. It's going to be awesome. Self-sacrifice, or whatever. So that said, I don't think it's as straight a path as saying like, yeah, he survives the fight and he does all this stuff and he's awesome and he's healed again.
Mm-hmm.
And he's super happy and friendly and he connects with his inner child and makes peace with his past, all that shit. But I do think that is where he's launched to if he survives that. Like, I think just naturally based on the progression that he was making up until that point, that that's the line he was tracking down, was this healing journey and rediscovering his, I don't want to say truer self because I don't know that that's a real thing, but like his inner self, a younger version of himself, a version of himself that he liked a lot more. So yes, I do think, very long answer to a potentially very short question, which is yes, I do think he tries to do the things that he talks about in his journal. It's something that he obviously very much wants to do.
Hell yeah.
Or wanted to, past tense. Yeah.
May.
I have a question. It's technically for me and Christian.
Go for it.
I think we might have said this. We might have accidentally promised this at PAX U or something, or maybe not accidentally. I don't know.
Oh, that's
Are
yes.
we gonna release the fanfic? We have two POVs of the night that Ziel and Tanis hooked up, like months before the campaign.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, what?
But basically, I wrote this night because I love chat. I love fan fiction. Keep doing what you're doing.
More.
It's something that really helps me get into characters, like write stuff for them. And I had a great writing partner in Christian, so I wrote this story after we kind of established the lore. It's not that long. It's like a couple of pages. It's like very short, very wholesome. But I had wrote like basically her POV of that night, and then, which was kind of hard because like we talked about our characters a lot at that point, but like when you're writing for someone else's character, it's like hard. You want to keep it kind of as draft. So Christian then took it and wrote from Tanis's POV and like fleshed it out a lot more and everything. It was really good. Christian's a really good writer. I'm afraid to read this right now because I wrote this like 2 years ago. So I'm like, whoa.
It's so good. I was
Who
going
is
to
this
say,
person who
May's
wrote
incredible
this?
writer. It was very good.
But we could like, I don't know, if this is a Discord or something.
I could drop it on the Patreon too, if you want.
Oh, there you go.
That's gross.
That's epic.
Drop the link. Let me see it.
Immediately.
Yeah, right. Disgusting. Send it to me.
Yeah,
immediately.
disgusting. Send it to me. Make copies,
Yeah.
please.
It
Send
just
it to
makes
my-
me wish Theron had lived to truly learn how to read.
God
Wow.
damn it. God damn it.
That's
He's
gonna
reading
know.
Tanis's journal. Oh no.
Yeah, I probably would have. Fucking
Oh my God.
Read my journal and shit.
Yeah, if you guys want to send them to me,
Okay, I
please-
just need to proofread it.
yeah, please feel free to drop them in the Discord if you want. If not, I will put them on the Patreon. I'll make them a public post so even freebies can read it. Patreon.com/castparty. If you're not over there, you can sign up for free and get access to the Discord. Come hang out with us. All that nonsense. But I have one final question, and I believe it's very fitting as it was our.
Wait, there's a really good question that it was asked of you, and I want to ask it of you, Ryan. Come on.
What?
Wait, the question I think it was by Frosted Gears that said, "What's it like having such a big campaign under your belt?"
fuck.
Yes.
I was yeah. It feels.
Because look, dude, I told you, look, you and I've been friends, and I've been friends with some of these people for a long time, and some are new friends,
I know.
but like, you killed it,
Yeah.
man.
Thank
Like,
you.
what a fun
Thank you.
adventure.
Yeah.
And you always had this idea of where you wanted to go, but then you were aware that it constantly changes, and you were sort of like adaptable and open and flexible, and then the way that you would wrap the stories, and you would let us fuck around, but then bring us back. So it was like, you did such a good dance, man. Major
Thank
props
you.
to you. Absolutely doesn't go unnoticed.
Thank you.
Absolutely incredible
Yeah.
work.
That means a lot. It means a lot from you guys. It means
Now answer the question.
Yeah, microphone's hot, baby.
it means a lot from you all, and it means a lot from all of the listeners too. Like this is the first campaign that has come to a conclusion that I have DM'd, and the fact that it has been broadcast to so many people is terrifying, but it's also so rewarding. And not only that, just seeing the amount of love that this campaign has gathered across the Discord, the Patreon, social media in general. Like, everyone loves the clips that not only like I put together from NPCs within characters, but also just seeing you guys interacting with each other in that way. I think just the whole formula that this campaign put together was perfect. And I could not ask for anything better out of this campaign. I wouldn't change a single fucking thing because it got us right here where we are right now. And I'm proud of that. I have a hard time saying this, but I'm proud of myself, and I'm also proud of you all as well. So
Nice.
Well, Papa, we are proud of you.
W in the
Proud of
chat.
everybody.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
There are a couple other small questions like that. And then we're gonna wrap on a question for May. Insaniac Zero says, will we get to see something like Nocturne returning to Cast Party? Yes. Come back in 2 weeks. We have a trailer dropping for our next adventure, and subscribed patrons, when the trailer drops, will have access to the very first episode of that. So yes, we will be continuing these side series. We will be getting new faces in, returning faces, maybe some faces from here, maybe some faces from here as guests. I love this stuff. I love sharing the community that we have across social medias. Not just us, but like the TTRPG community in general is filled with incredible fucking people. And I love having this platform to showcase the talents that this community holds. Actually, before we get to May's question, I have this for everybody too, because this is also from Frosted Gears, and I think it's so fun. Is if you could have one scene animated, this is for everybody, what would it be?
Oh no.
Which
God
one?
damn it, Hayden.
I know.
Oh,
Which one?
man.
You could have one scene animated, and mine is heartbreaking
Fantastic.
as fuck. It's the Danica scene. It's Danica's death with Alizato, and Alizato going to open the
Ooh,
window. And you see Alizato close the door behind him and hear the fluttering of feathers through the window behind the closed door. It hurts,
Oh.
but that's what I want.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
a
mine.
good
I this is, you don't have to, but just to tag on. Wait, what's the animation style, please? For my heart, how are you seeing
Oh,
that?
dude.
Is this Ghibli? Is this Disney? Is this cartoon, Avatar? What?
No, it's like well, I mean, that's Ryan's
Yeah, right. What do you-
visual
what do you
mind.
say?
Yeah.
Is it Arcane? Sorry.
Yeah, I think
Castlevania.
Yes.
in
I'm
my
sorry,
brain,
I have to.
in my brain,
yes.
it's
Like,
definitely
it's-
Castlevania vibes. It's it's got that old school
Yeah.
kind of feel to it, but it still has the gothic nature and everything. I think that's fitting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh, that's super good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Castlevania definitely that. That's super cool. I would say for me, if I were to choose just a quick 2, Alizato meeting the party and telling them to
Yes.
smile. I just
Oh,
love
it's
that. That
so
was
good.
cool. Because also it was like that Hunchback of Notre Dame kind of crazy festival scene, and there's so many things and so many things happening that the audience has no idea what's truly happening underneath. I like that scene. But then also the other one would be the battle with Baba Lysaga. That
yeah.
Oh
whole
my
swamp thing was just so
Fuck yeah.
cool.
That would be
Yeah.
so hard to animate all the water and everything.
Yeah.
Holy
Nah, dude,
shit.
Well,
Easy.
here's the thing. You
Easy.
don't
Yeah,
have
I'll do it right now.
to. You don't have to animate Esmeralda that entire fight. She was dead. She was underwater the whole time. It's one less character to worry about.
Just a PNG of her just in the water.
I was underwater part of it too. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like when you have your main cast in. I mean, it is very much the same setting as we've been in, but in a very drastic setting. Even the tower scene too, when the moonbeam was shot and the werewolves and everything was happening on that small strip of land, that was really cool too. The whole thing. I mean, let's be real. If we could animate the hell out of this whole campaign, oh man, that'd be
If
rad.
only a
It would
dream.
be rad.
I want ZL dancing with Vasily through
Ooh.
Strahd biting her and her making deal with Cade
Ooh.
and
Oh, yeah.
ending with returning with the wings.
God, and
Yeah.
Castlevania
Oh,
in
good.
Castlevania style would be so sick.
Yeah.
Be
Crazy.
Be very cool.
Incredible.
Yeah, appearing in the darkness to then the
Yeah.
others coming back to there.
Oh, it'd be so good.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I thought the entire vignette of the sun rising over Barovia. The mists lift and the flowers bloom and the plants are reclaiming the castle. That entire sequence would be so beautiful animated. That would be so gorgeous.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need one. This is a small one. I need a low camera back of Strahd's head, only for it to be like his body silhouetted, only for the sun sword to come through his neck, and then his head falls, and you see ZL looming over. That'd be sick as fuck.
Very much that one.
That's good.
That one. That one.
Very good.
That's good.
That
Very,
one.
very good one.
That's a quick, easy animation. Nice.
Yeah.
Good idea.
That
Throw him a
is.
short one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have two.
Nice and quick. Somebody's about to do it.
I have two. One, both are action packed ones. One is for Theron, where it's just one that I really liked with him, where I think it was the fight with Theron and Tanis and what's his face? Isaac, thank you. Jeez, brain fart. Where I did Necrotic Shroud, I believe, for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
And that whole sequence of the Necrotic Shroud, like that armor that I kind of said that came up on me as I'm like running towards him with like the wings coming out of my back and everything. That's one that I would love to see animated. And the other one with like the whole group would be that werewolf moonbeam. Just seeing that and
The
seeing
tower,
the like,
tower fight.
like I just imagine them at the top of the tower and the moonbeam coming down and that like angle shot of like backing away and the moonbeam coming down in front of you and then slowly like chasing the camera and then all of like the werewolves slowly
100%.
like just disintegrating into
100%.
it, something like that. Like, oh
Yeah.
And it's just
so
gorgeous.
sick.
So good.
It ends with just a close up of ZL like leaning out the window with her hand on her shoulder and just like guiding it with like one simple finger. Like it's fucking easy.
Rapunzel
Yeah.
art.
Ta-ta-ta.
That's good.
Just for the pure excitement of it, because of the Castlevania animation, an entire scene where the camera is tracking the water and you just see that black pool as ZL and Theron are about to fight, but then the camera inverts and you see the red moon and the red sort of like lining of the entire world as Theron and ZL in this very emotional moment are about to come together, and then Cade and Suni appear behind them like, come on,
That would be so
Okay,
good.
well,
that whole fight.
that was gonna be one of mine, but I guess it's mine.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Stolen.
Never mind. That scene's
So
not
a
good.
really quick, easy one. It's just Alizato face in a pie.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Just going
no.
nuts
Jesus.
on a pie. Sorry. Anyways,
one of mine was it was obviously the battle of the gods and doing like the trope thing where it's like you're like cutting back and forth between the two battles. Like sometimes they overlap, but also sometimes it's like, you know, that Theron and Ziel go in for a swing and it's like Cade and Suni doing like the same thing. That would be a more extended thing, and obviously crazy budget for the combat animation, but obviously it would be super cool to see. The other one that I'm thinking of, Castlevania, obviously for all this, but also this in an arcane art style with an arcane-esque soundtrack would absolutely fucking destroy me for life. After we defeated Isaac and the town is like, we're like in front of the whole town, and Ziel uses the
amulet
guy, the amulet that they've just gotten, and it's like they've just defeated the guy who killed Tanis, which set off all these other events. Like they lost their first like party member for real. They've killed him. It's like the first like big minion of Strahd's that we've killed. And then we're also like giving this town hope. Like these people are seeing sun for the first time ever, and like just like that, like the hand in the air and the sunbeam, and just like the people like kind of like zombie,
god
like oh my
rays,
god,
I could
Yeah.
hear the soundtrack, just like
oh
an
my
overhead,
god, the waste of arcane music was
overhead, like a cloud shot of like ZL and the party around, and that bubble of sunlight as the fucking
Maybe I'm
town
pulling it up. I'll
center
tell you which song.
burns, and there's rubble from buildings as the people just start to swarm in a circle around you guys, like closer and closer into this sunlight. Oh, be so good.
insane to have to follow that up, because I've been trying to like hang on to whatever ideas I think would be cool, and then it's just like everybody having an amazing idea, and I'm like, oh fuck, what else is there? What other cool ideas? But there's so many awesome moments in this campaign. So I think for me, one that I would love, and I'm just going to very quickly, the different art styles. I think if I'm doing the Castlevania art style, it's got to be the werewolf fight. I think not the one, but the one where Tannis, I think, turns into the werewolf. We're in the forest. I think that's super fun.
The PvP.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think that plays into that horror element, but it's also super action packed. I think Castlevania super complements that style. Adventure Time style, there's just a very short scene where Dahlia is just like upside down in the water for a hot moment and everyone's looking for her, and I feel like that would be adorable. I would love that, where they're like,
right outside
and it's just like,
Ricky's tower.
yeah, right, and it's just Dahlia floating in the water and they're like, oh, there it is. And then
So fun.
would love that. And then in the arcane style, very similarly, but if we dial the clock back a little bit, the fight with Isaac, I think I would love to see in a sort of arcane style. And if I could extend it further, it would include the death moment, because I think that would be incredibly cool in that particular style.
Oh yeah.
Of
100%.
just that really interesting sort of character dichotomy and all of that sort of dealio. Those would be my three, I think. Cut, paste, print. That's what I want.
Dude, to add to the death.
Hell yeah.
What, like a short clip of side by side Tannis, Theron, Dahlia in order asking, can I keep it?
Yes.
Can I keep it? Yep.
Can I keep it?
Just like a 4 or 5 second, just like looking down and holding it up. Can I keep it? Like, oh, that would be so good. Like all in
But
sync.
I'll tell you what, going off of what Christian said and what you're essentially hyping off of, in my head, the entire show has an animation, but then death, it switches it. It has a completely different animation style.
Yes.
And it just goes into like this other thing where it's like, yes, maybe the whole thing is Castlevania, but then in death, it's like 3D animation arcane style. Or it goes into like, I mean, to some degree, it even goes into maybe like some stop motion, like animation, where it's like very much real and tangible.
Oh yeah, can almost see like it's almost that. This isn't exactly it, but almost that Into the Spider-Verse where there is that sort of frame drop a little bit.
Exactly.
The emotions sort of hit a little bit more, because I love the idea that it's still that cartoon, but you get that sort of like, I don't know.
There's something about it that's like,
more tangible, almost like it's on paper. You're seeing the story sort of like coming to life. Yeah, I 1,000%
God, that's
agree.
good.
Wonderful, beautiful ideas, Jose. Jesus Christ.
All right, y'all. I have one final ending finale question from Bowie for May. And it is, whenever ZL ascends, we kind of talked about this, and I want you to describe your thoughts, because we didn't get to it, and we specifically didn't get to it in the finale. What kind of god do you see her becoming? I have something of a personal headcanon that she becomes the goddess of choice, a patron for brides and those with few options but strong convictions. But I would love to know your thoughts.
Ooh.
You know what? I think that honestly, you came up with anything better than I could, Bowie. Ryan and I talked about this a lot, because
So much.
I mean, like I said, from the second we had to start thinking about the epilogue, I was like, every second entirely consumed by what that would be for Ziel. And we did talk about, like, I don't know, like, do we flash forward? Like, does she fully ascend?
Do we
become
have
a
the
god?
wedding?
Like, do we see that? Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff to do still, and we can't play anymore. So yeah, we did talk about like God, what she could be the god of, like, and in the end, I wasn't really sure. I hadn't really decided. I do think that is still up to. She has so much more to life that she can live if she chooses to. So who's to freaking say? But as of right now, choice is a really good one. I liked her just being another aspect of grief, like maybe a more hopeful one, since she is becoming partners with Cade and that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think in the end I didn't choose choice because, like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. It was so hard to choose.
That's okay.
So hard to choose. And Ryan had really good ideas too.
We brainstormed. We got on a call to brainstorm this single topic, because there were a lot of good options, and nothing we thought of like really fit ZL and what May wanted out of ZL's ending. So we
It's
kind
so
of
hard to sum it up. Too.
yeah, and that's kind of that. I think that's ultimately why we didn't show the wedding. We didn't show her ascension. We didn't show all of that sort of aftermath stuff in the finale with the epilogues, because we kind of wanted to leave it again up to, like Bowie said, they have their headcanon. It's just interpretation, how you see ZL and what you might think her future holds.
Bring on the fanfic.
And you
Yes.
you guys really fucking see her, and that is extremely validating for me. So thank you.
Yeah.
When I read like the fanfic you guys are writing, I'm like, holy shit, why did I think of that? Like for my own character. It's awesome.
But yeah, that is that's all I got. And we went very, very late, so thank you guys for dealing with me. I didn't want to put a time limit to this, but I know it's late for us East Coasters over here. So but again, I want to thank you all for such a wonderful, wonderful time. This is what I look forward to. I love running this shit. I had so much fun and made so many memories with each and every one of you. And thank you all for listening to the nonsense that we put out through our goofy little story filled with tragedy and grief and horror and heartbreak, but fun times nonetheless.
They can exist together.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, stay tuned. We have so much more. Campaign 2 is going strong. Who knows what comes after that? And in 2 weeks, you'll have your weekly content back to normal with a brand new story, a brand new cast of characters. And yeah, I think that's all I got. And for the first time, I would love the entire cast to join me in a goodbye as we fully yap up Nocturne.
Oh my god.
Not again. Wait.
I know. All right, everybody. Thank you again from the bottom of our hearts. We adore you. And we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
We say good night.
Good night.
Good night.